I saw him on Monday, though.
I actually, I'm kind of sad we're not playing in person, because, yeah, I haven't seen Jeremy in ages. You guys,
Yeah, I
yeah.
unfortunately saw him on Monday.
Fortunately.
Yeah. Same with John.
I mean, that garage will be baking right now.
Yeah, that's true. We'd all need to bring extra fans.
No,
At
not
least
necessarily.
it wouldn't be cold. I'd rather.
Yeah, but it's way too hot.
I prefer the cold.
Whoa.
Yeah, if it's cold, we can put on blankets and whatnot.
Exactly.
I don't.
I have to work out in the hot and in the cold.
You know
I will
what?
take the cold every day.
You can see my stack of power tools in the background.
I'm
Yeah,
a desert child, and so the cold is adverse to me. Sarah, close your eyes.
It's too late.
No, actually close your eyes. I want to show Jan and Kate in this.
Oh god, not again.
Oh God, no!
I want
I'm
to
scared.
Not again.
actually close your eyes though. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. Nice.
Okay, it's not as bad as I thought.
Nice.
It looks so good.
It does actually.
It looks so good. I'll be back. I'm gonna kill smoke. We are live, by the way. There's no video feed.
Oh, I was hoping you just flashed the internet.
That would get
Yeah,
it
that
bad.
would be great.
That would have been bad.
In the views.
I mean, me not wearing a shirt might be bad. I found out today I don't have to wear a shirt at work.
Yeah, so I definitely didn't close my eyes. I don't know why he thought I would.
I can just wear my safety vest without a shirt on.
Young man.
I'm older than you.
I know. But YMCA isn't.
Young men.
Exactly. Just think of the shirtless construction worker.
I am the shirtless construction worker.
Exactly.
If you're not wearing your shirt and you're working outside, be careful.
I'm not, probably not going to.
Your skin is not used to the sunlight.
Do it.
Well,
You won't.
do it.
My
This
next door
down is used to the sunlight.
Wait, my next door neighbor, she has these huge raging parties, but before she does, she buys all of us, like all of her neighbors in the apartment building, fancy donuts. And we all get a fancy donut box that says, "I'm going to have a party tonight in this apartment. Please don't report me." And we're like, you know what? For fancy donuts, we won't.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So what I'm hearing is, if no one else got donuts, we can report it.
Ooh.
That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, so the other day, the next door neighbors, one of their kids got dropped off by the cops when I was leaving for work. I felt
What
so
did you
bad.
do?
I didn't do it. It was the next door neighbor's kid.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys don't have kids.
Yeah, not even a little bit.
I was going out to my car, and the cop car pulled up, and I was like, "Oh fuck! I didn't do anything. I don't think." And I opened the back door, and this kid gets out with a piece of paper in their hand, and I felt so bad. But hey, the cop did not go to the door with them, so they might have been able to hide it.
Maybe.
Probably
I had
not.
my fingers crossed all day.
Jan, I figured out a new commander deck I want to put together.
What kind of bullshit is this one?
So, do you know a card called Blim Comedic Genius? Red black 4-drop. When it deals combat damage, you give a card you control to another player.
Oh no.
I
don't
play
even-
all cards that make me lose the game, but I give them to other players before they come into effect.
Oh.
Yeah. And you want to know the best part about that? I can put it together for about $50.
Oh, that's evil.
Jeremy's
It's
fighting
just
the last
friendship.
boss.
You guys are sacrificing yourselves for me. And do you want to know what I think it's going to be called? Comedy Gold. Because it's hilarious. It's just like your friendship deck.
I wanna watch you play against Tim.
Yeah.
With what? The Comedy Gold?
Any
Anything.
of your decks.
Also,
mean-
though, think how much Tim would hate Gaiden.
Oh, so much. So I
Tim is
wanna
like
watch
very
that.
orderly and like, yeah, he would not stand you well at all. You would have a
So-
huge advantage because of it.
So what I'm hearing is, if John invites me to play in the next campaign, I need to bring back Sean and roll for everything.
I would highly recommend playing from home so you don't get murdered.
Maybe. I mean, murder sounds fun.
But being murdered?
Probably. Only been stabbed twice.
Really?
Yeah.
Only twice? That's not bad.
Yeah. Most of it
Were they-
was in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's okay.
And one
Why were
time
you
I asked for it.
Why?
So, long story short, I was being a dick online, like, oh, I never messed up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Another guy down the line messed up and he came over to me and was like, what the fuck's your problem, man? And then he got all up in my face, and I was like, what are you going to do, stab me? And then he stabbed me.
Fun.
Yeah.
So wait, I'm confused. You were online and you got stabbed?
Like, in the kitchen.
Oh, two
Yeah.
words. Online.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, got it.
Yeah. Only
Fun.
asked for it a little bit.
Where did he stab you?
In the head.
That's not a great place to be stabbed.
No, didn't do much. Those knives weren't sharp enough to just, like, stab.
That's good.
I mean, I still mostly have feeling in my hand. So that's a
That's-
plus.
That's good.
Can't feel in one finger, though.
Actually?
Yeah.
Like as a result of being stabbed?
Oh, no, this was a different incident.
Oh, okay.
This was when I worked at a bowling alley and I crushed my finger.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
Like, as you can see, I'm going to put my fingers up in front of the camera and you can see that one of them's crooked. Because I never thought to, like, actually get it checked out or anything. I just let it sit there.
Oh, yeah.
I have no feeling in that finger.
That makes sense. Which hand is that?
My left.
Pretty sure you're right-handed, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I can do both, though.
I think I knew that. You're a
It
little
annoys
ambidextrous.
people. It annoys people.
It is kind of annoying.
Because, like, earlier the other day, I was working on, like, grill and, like, pans.
Yeah?
And I was just, like, flipping with my left hand and then flipping with my right hand at the same time. People were both impressed and annoyed.
My sister's ambidextrous too. It's more common than a lot of people think.
Oh, yeah.
I can sword fight with either hand.
For
Me too.
people who are waiting online for us to start, we're just waiting on the rest of our D&D group. And
No, we're not.
We're doing actual D&D tonight instead of a two-shot because we were going to do D&D tonight. And I was like, well, why don't we just go
Yeah, I
live?
forgot to post about that. And actually, it was my idea. I was the one who suggested we do actual play. You can check the messages.
But I'm the one that
It's true.
suggested that we go live.
But I was the one who suggested we go live. Because I asked, are we going to stream or are we going to do real D&D tonight?
Oh, I guess,
Like,
yeah.
why don't we do both?
You asked, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I don't like to think I know things sometimes.
No, that's fair.
Only sometimes.
Like, at least 3% of the time.
I'm going to tell you guys, best decision, and the reason I've been doing it, wearing sunglasses on stream.
You yelled at me last time I did that.
I know, and I feel so bad because it's actually so useful.
It is.
It's really
And now
useful.
I'll never do it again because you yelled at me.
Oh, I feel so
don't own
bad.
any sunglasses.
You should feel bad.
I do feel bad.
You should.
I really need to buy some sunglasses for work.
Dude, you can buy work sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what game are you playing on the PC, Rujala? I am proud of you. Learning to play PC games.
It's League, right? It's going to be League.
Oh, please God, please don't be League. No, I have faith in Rujala. She's going to be playing,
I hope
like,
it's League.
Farmville. I hope. No, knowing her,
Thing other than League.
It might be for the king.
it's either going to be something that's relaxing or something that induces a lot of pain. Like Skyrim.
Oh.
Hey, they have multiplayer now.
I've got Skyrim modded to a point where it's not awful.
They have multiplayer now.
It's a mod.
Sounds so much more awful.
She's never played anything on her PC. I knew that. I don't think anyone else knew that. For the King. What game is that?
Someone said that
Didn't you
a little
literally
ago.
just say that?
For
Yeah, I
the
did.
King?
Yeah, you literally just
I
said
definitely didn't just read the Discord stuff.
that.
No, that would be cheating.
Wait, what? Did I miss something?
Yes.
Mhm.
So, I've been playing Age of Empires 2 since I was a little kid.
Okay.
Yesterday, for the first time ever, I played ranked online.
Oh,
And I lost so badly.
Yep.
It was painful.
probably.
Twice.
Welcome to
But,
online.
well, apparently, with their matchmaking, you don't start getting ranked with matched with people approximately your rank until you played like 10 or so games.
Yeah, 5 or 10 games usually.
Yeah. So I just need to lose painfully like 8 more times, and I'll be put with the
Crap ones.
absolute bottom, like
What's,
I should be.
What's For the King, though? Rushala? Is that like a medieval game? Like, what was that one medieval game that was so much fun? You got to literally play medieval knights. You just-
Sims Medieval.
No, it was first person. You got to...
For Honor.
For Honor, that's right. That game is so much fun.
was-
No. That was Kingdom Come. For Honor was the fighting game where
Yeah.
you played either a knight, a Viking, or samurai.
That's
No, it was
it.
Kingdom Come is the one you're talking about.
So what's For the King? Let's look at this up. Since...
It's a game.
Thanks. There goes half my search.
You're welcome. Smite just announced that they're doing a crossover with Nickelodeon.
Tabletop
Yep.
and roguelike elements.
I was actually talking to to Jeremy about that because I still have all the characters, so I can just log on and get all of them.
Yeah,
For the King.
you can play as Danny Phantom.
90%. Wow, this game. What is
That
this
really
game?
looks kind of
Toast
fun.
Man.
Genres: roguelike, indie game, strategy game. For the King. Actually, that looks really cute.
No, it kind of looks like fun. I might.
It's a tabletop co-op adventure for up to 3 people.
Fun.
Oh, and you get to be a rogue, a wizard, or turn-based combat.
Wow, that's such a good role. Turn-based combat?
Oh, it doesn't say the third one.
The video I'm looking at, though,
Oh, Bard.
kind of looks like
Oh, perfect.
Warrior, Bard, and
mobile
Wizard.
games,
Perfect.
which
And there's
means
a
I'll
second one.
probably not stop playing it for years.
This game actually looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to have to buy it.
Do you play with anyone, Rushala, or are you just playing by yourself? Yeah, game actually looks pretty nuts.
Yeah. Or
Let's see what horrible things.
Oh, Mr. C4, do you want to try and get a hold of our extra special guest?
$22.
Yeah.
None of us have his number.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I was like,
Special guest.
who the hell are you
Or
talking about for a
25
second?
if I get the expansion.
Wow, you don't think he's an extra special guest?
He's not extra special.
Apparently not.
He's just special.
He is extra special in our hearts.
Yeah, apparently we hold him in higher regard than you do.
And you've known him how long? What?
That's actually makes a lot of sense. You would hold him in higher regard than I do because you haven't known him as long as I do. that just means he hasn't. That means you're still fooled. You're still in the honeymoon phase. That's
we
why.
still have those rose-colored glasses on.
You guys still got the rose-colored glasses. There's a reason why me and him are such good friends and have been good friends for a long time. Don't get that wrong.
Me and him. Your grammar hurts me.
Yeah,
Whose?
Yours.
Which one? They're both dead.
you.
You said
Your
my.
grasp of the English language that you spent multiple
you said
years
grammar.
studying and holding good
Yes.
in.
I think said grandma. I was like,
Yes, your grandmother hurts me because she is responsible for your existence.
I just don't
Fair.
care about my grammar in text message because it doesn't matter. You've never seen professional emails from me. You've never seen actual.
Yes, I have.
When?
When I first started
worked for
working
you.
for you.
I sure
Yeah.
hope he's seen professional communication from you.
I mean, yes and no.
No, I never really communicated with Caden professionally. I mean, if I sent him an email, I would have, because if I CC it, all the emails I write for work, I CC to my dad, because we work together. But no, I just don't care about texting. I don't understand why anyone would.
Sometimes it's important.
It's not. It's throwaway writing.
Well, to be fair, a simple typo is the difference between losing an arm and gaining some harm. Or getting some harm.
I know. I did hear your story about being stabbed in the hand.
Yeah.
It's a steep learning curve. Got to figure out how to play it before I invite you. Well, Rushala, that's the best time to invite people to join because I wouldn't know how to play, and neither would anyone else. So we'd learn together in the fires of not knowing.
The fiery pits of Mordor and the USS Enterprise.
Hello? Are you on your way? No, we're doing it on
Online,
the
right?
Discord. Are you at Jeremy's place? No. I was good. I thought I meant Discord. Are you on your way to the onlines? Yes.
I mean, we could go and play at Jeremy's.
We could. We just wouldn't be able to stream it as easily.
We're just sitting online. Take your time. No, we're still waiting for Jeremy.
Oh, that reminds me, Jan. I found the perfect character for your next campaign.
Oh no.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, sure. That's cool. Look at what you do and tell them that they hold my friends hold you in higher regard than I do. Fuck you. Look at Sarah's telling me that you told them that they hold you in higher regard than I do. I was like, they just don't know you long enough. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Well, yeah. But that, like I said, it's because they don't know you as long as I have. That's bullshit. You're just good at hiding yourself better than I am. I don't give a shit anymore. Exactly. Exactly, you dick. I make you look good, you asshole. Alright, I'll call you in a bit when Jeremy gets on. Alright, peace. Put my headphones on the right way. There we go. He'll be on in about... He'll be on in about... he said call him when Jeremy gets on and he'll jump on.
Hey, John, can you say no?
Yes?
Thank you.
Well, it's a good thing he's not the DM.
Just look at the group chat. The other group chat.
Goddamn
not this
Zorro.
group chat. No.
Big
I'm giving
Zorro,
you the
I know.
information.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured.
Ain't no kill like an overkill, baby. Hey, we have 3 people watching, waiting for the D&D to start.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on our DM, sitting in...
Well, we're missing 3 party members, so.
Well, one of them's just sitting outside with his mom, just hanging out. So I said call him when we're about to start.
You see, the character would be able to play the trumpet.
A Samarachi?
As well as, yeah.
Yes, I will never say no to that.
See, Jan, it's a good idea. Especially for Ravenloft.
No, if I do Curse of Strahd, no Samarachi.
You know, Rushala, that makes sense. Having a bard being played by Tim in my DM game, I can tell you that. Bards, you know, I hate monks, but bards are getting up there. Like, really.
Fuck monks.
That gives me a great idea.
Of course you like monks.
Gives me a great idea. A monk bard.
That would
Though
make
it doesn't
sense.
help that
It would.
Okay, I had a great idea for a bard. I'll tell the 3 people listening since I already told the people in here.
I don't remember it. Oh, that one. Yes.
Yeah, that one.
So the idea is an orc fighter, okay? And the orc fighter is not intelligent. He's got like intelligence 9, wisdom 9. And one day he uses a spear to fight. So he's a fighter, and I guess it would be probably weapons master, probably be best. But I thought samurai because
That would be a feat. Yeah.
you go the samurai path because then you have your spear. And one day he picks up his spear, and the background is he shakes his spear as he picks it up, and he gets completely enamored with it and thinks of this beautiful prose to write about this spear. But just as he remembers it, just as he thinks of it, it disappears. And so, infuriated, he starts shaking his spear more to try and remember this prose. And his name's Grodak. And Grodak goes around, and he's a fighter, adventurer, who always shaking this spear and writing prose that he leaves behind or uses to pay. Basically stories, plays. He writes prose. But he never puts his name down. He just writes these prose, and sometimes he pays for his tavern nights or different things. And so, in the land he lives in, there's an infamous playwright called Shakespeare. And no one knows who Shakespeare is. No one has ever truly met Shakespeare. All they know is he is a man who walks around and he shakes a spear and he writes prose. And because the orc is not smart enough, he would never realize it's him.
The way you're describing RP wise, it sounds more like a barbarian.
No, it would be
Yeah.
a bard fighter because he doesn't rage.
But no, it'd be so much. It'd be so great if the DM let you
That just sounds like
only cast while you rage, so you can only use your bardic abilities while you're raging.
See, that's why I didn't want the rage because it stops it. But if a DM allowed that, I would totally do a barbarian. But because it'd be really fun to like RP. You're running into battle and you shake your spear and you cast like vicious mockery, and you don't even realize it because you're just running and shaking your spear, and it's vicious mockery and they take psychic damage, and then you just stab them with your spear.
Way I would do it personally, you can only cast while raging.
That would suck though, because you only have so many rages.
that's the point.
Yeah, but I mean, RP wise, that would be so fun. I kind of want to do it now.
We might as well sit on live.
You know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do. You know what you need in your game, Jen?
What?
More cowbells.
Oh yeah, I wanted to weigh in on that. By the way, if you ever did join my game, and Rujhala can back me up on this. Tim's interesting, man. If you're chaotic for the sake of being chaotic, he won't give a shit what you do. He'll probably run with it, more likely. He'd even probably do stuff with support it. What he hates is when you're obtuse. Like, for example, Yawn. Yawn rubs Tim the wrong way. And Tim both hates it and loves it. He loves it because the RP between him and Yawn is really good, and Tim loves that. But my God, you should see the amount of bitching I hear about how obtuse some of Yawn's characters are, like Granny. Or actually, his newest one's fine, but that's what Tim has a problem with. Like when you play Magic against him, it's the best way to understand him because his decks are ridiculous, but they work and they're destructive. They're the dumbest ideas that he grinds down to be actually not just viable but stupidly broken. That's the kind of guy he is.
So what I'm hearing is, with the Comedy Gold deck, it would be a great deck to play against Tim.
He'd wreck you. He'd play fun decks against you. He'd play like a wall deck where all his cards are 0-17, and then in one turn he just does a 500 damage to you. You don't understand. Like he'd play with you, but if you actually pissed him off, he would just play one of his decks that's just one turn win. You wouldn't even see you wouldn't even see the field. You'd play a card and you'd lose the game. Like that. Like I think Rushala, if she's still there, could vouch for me on this. Tim played LARP, and they had a path in LARP where you could actually basically break your character. And because LARP was not doing any oversight and they basically screwed him, he broke his character. He made a broken character that was more powerful than the high wizard in the NPC camp. And the owner of LARP realized it one day and talked to him and was like, holy shit, he's like, yeah, that's what Tim does. Tim has fun in breaking things, and then when he breaks something, he has fun just having fun with breaking stupid things. Like, he'll take the stupidest mechanic in Magic and break it just for fun. But if you're obtuse, if you're just a piece of shit, just to be a piece of shit, then he gets pissed. And when he gets pissed, that's when you watch out for Tim. Because then he doesn't, then he cuts all the bullshit.
So what I'm hearing is the biggest
Theo is more of an asshole for the sake of being an asshole than Granny ever was.
See, Rujhala agrees with me. There, that's all I need to say. He sure did. He sure broke that. He broke LARP. Tim, and he does it. He's not loud. He's not the kind of guy who will go around and yell at you. He'll be very silent. He'll be very calm. He won't even talk to you. He'll just look at you, and then when the time comes, you'll lose. And he won't say anything about it. He's that kind of guy. But you don't piss off Tim.
So here's 6 reading it is.
Oh,
You can
no.
try. Like,
Yes.
the problem is, I don't think you'll get very far. He's not an emotional guy. He's not like other people we know. He's very much more of a stone wall than goddamn Yawn.
Yawn's a stone wall?
Well, maybe
mean,
not to you. You're
it's
married
more-
to him.
Yes.
Looking at his face, he does look pretty rocky.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited for the new LARP Rushala. I've been actually talking to them, and I've been thinking about coming back because I'm excited. But I'm not putting on any fucking makeup. I'm still being a human.
Or a door.
Oh, I wish.
I could see you pulling off a door. You'd
I
definitely look adorable.
I was the bet. Oh, thank you.
Even better, just be a bowl with Dora on it.
Very Jurassic Park. We fought dinosaurs. The question is, could I just be a farmer, Rushala? Could I live the life of Boots?
I could see you being a great rancher.
Fucking boots.
Boots. My favorite.
Definitely being a rancher.
My favorite character I've ever thought of. A necromancer who doesn't want to be a necromancer. He just wants to be a farmer. He just wants to farm. And when things attack him in the middle of the night, he kills them and raises them and just gets them to help him farm. Just wants to be a farmer. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna bring Boots back to LARP. Actually, we're live. I can show one of the things I have. That I love about LARP is I have a giant. Well, it's a staff with a little head of a hoe. So I get to.
You're a hoe.
Only some days. And only to the right people. We're still waiting on 3 people. I just went live. I just went to this so people could see us since we're just sitting and talking. This is D&D. If anyone's ever not played D&D, this is like D&D in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Waiting for people to show up on time.
We were supposed to be here an hour ago.
Yep.
An hour and 11 minutes ago. Yes, he is.
What? Yeah. Did anyone go? So you guys were camping. How was that? Where did you
Just
guys
me.
He was camping.
Oh, she just ditched you?
I was
Nice.
working.
Yeah. Usually when I go camping, it's just me.
Like, by yourself?
Yeah. It's really lovely, actually.
Yeah, she
Isn't
can
that
go to
like-
the beach without me bitching.
I don't have to do what anyone else wants to.
Isn't that, like,
Just whatever I
dangerous,
want to.
though?
Depends on where you go and what you do. And how many knives you have.
I mean, sure. Okay. Where'd you go camping?
Well, see, I like to go there, so I'm not going to say because then it's slightly more dangerous because we are online.
Places. You're in camping places.
Yeah, a really beautiful place with a big lake and a nice beach. It's like a family-centered campground,
okay.
so
Then you're good.
yeah.
Oh, I know that one.
Rouge Halla bought a camping trailer. Wait, does that mean you're going camping now? What's the name of it? Wait, one of my favorite games to play when I go traveling, especially when it's a long drive, is we like to just say the names of the fucking camping trailers and like all of them because Rujhala, I want to know the name of yours because some of the names are amazing. Like one of the best names I've ever seen, The Intruder. Yeah, great name, right? The Intruder, The Unwanted, The Invader. That was a good one.
Wait, these are just names people painted on.
No,
their
these are the
trailers?
names of the trailers or RVs and stuff that are like,
Make and
the
model.
big names on the side. If you look at the names, some of the names are fucking hilarious because they completely encapsulate what's about to happen. Because when you see someone driving onto a bus onto your campground and it says Invader, that's the first thing you think of. The Invader. Hideout. Ooh, the Hideout.
Yeah.
That's a decent name. The Hideout.
That's a really good name.
That is.
Yeah.
Is that where you store all your illicit substances in the Hideout? Yeah, no, just something. If you've never noticed that, it's one of the funniest fucking things. Is they all have the dumbest names.
They really do.
Star Killer.
The rare times I go camping,
Star
it's always
Killer.
in places where RVs cannot get to.
Fair.
That just sounds like a challenge to Americans with RVs, and I feel like you're not gonna like what happens.
They wouldn't find it. I mean, I've been to some of these places a number of times, and I can't even find them.
Fair.
You've
I usually
christened.
go like at midnight.
So are you gonna repaint the name then, Rushala, and put Nessa? That'd be fun. I'd name if I had an RV. Actually, everyone has these micro homes now, which
Yeah.
basically what
Yeah.
you guys moved into essentially.
Yeah, actually, I was chatting with a friend on Sunday, and she was like, "Oh, so you live in a tiny house?" And I was like, "I don't think so." And she said, "Yeah, anything under 1,000 square feet." And I was like, "That's a weird
under
definition."
like 500.
Wait. So that's amazing. You don't live in a trailer. I live in a tiny house.
No, I
Oh.
am proudly.
No, you live in a
proud.
tiny house. Oh my god, you
No.
guys are so
Fuck that
cutting
shit.
edge and bohemian.
So hip.
Man, you're so
That's
hip.
so hip.
Oh, and look at you sitting there
Motherfucking
you're
trailer
shirtless.
trash.
Look at you sitting there shirtless, drinking what? Energy drinks and your craft beers. Oh, so
Budweiser.
Oh, sure you do. Sure you do.
You really does. It's all over the house.
Oh, gee, this is for kids, Yawn. For kids.
Yeah, total hipster. Only hipsters wear cowboy hats.
That is
Got
true.
that for free.
He
from-
missed that. That's
Yeah,
sad.
I
Hipsters,
heard
hipsters in their cowboy. I mean, look at us. Look at us, Yawn, and we're not even close to hipsters.
I mean, depending on the day, I could be pretty hipster.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, you got Danny DeVito on the top left corner, man.
Yeah.
You could
Never
never
tried
be,
it.
They're-
never be too hipster with Danny DeVito.
Oh no, but I dress pretty hipster for the most part.
You do. I see it.
Yes. yes, you do.
I don't.
Even Jeremy says that.
Jeremy, who's abandoned us.
Yeah. Doesn't even think of the children.
You name all your vehicles, Rushala? I name all my pipes.
I mean, my vehicle.
I know in my car.
Did you name
car
any of
is
them
Kyle.
Jonathan?
Kyle?
Kyle.
What's your car's name?
Steve.
Hey, my last car was named Steve.
Oh. Neat.
That's funny.
My car is named Piece of Shit Go Faster. No, sorry, that's just what I say most of the time to it.
Turn that into an acronym. PISFGA.
No, it's Posca. God.
Oscar.
Posgos.
Pos-
Posgos. Posgos.
It sounds Eastern European-esque. Posca.
That's
Go, yeah.
Posgos. Posgos. You named your car Russian? No, it means piece of shit go faster. My bongs are named the Borgen because it looks like a giant organ. And then I have The Hambongler, because it looks like a hamburger. And then I have Simone, which is my new pipe, which I bought in Penticton.
Nice.
I don't think I've seen Simone yet.
I'm not going to bring her online. We've broadcast the States.
Yeah. And Twitch is an American company, unfortunately.
It's for tobacco.
Come over to my house.
It is a pipe for tobacco.
No, it's not. I live in Canada. I use it for weed. I use it for legal marijuana, thank you.
Do you?
Quite often.
That's
I
fair.
probably shouldn't lift this up too much more.
Higher.
No.
Higher.
Oh, man.
I don't know
So
why
when the
not
trail's
higher, but
connected,
higher.
It's Leonessa. Leonessa? Ah. Man, that makes you should have named it Nitus. So then when you hooked up your trailer to your car Leo, it would have been Leonidas.
But then your trailer would have probably died the first hill you saw.
Yeah.
I've stood on that hilltop.
For Sparta! Have you? You were in Greece?
Yeah.
Where is
We
that?
did,
That's up near Macedonia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you just
Yeah.
ask where Greece is?
No, where the hill is. It's up near
Yeah.
Macedonia and
Near
Thermopylae.
Macedonia. We didn't actually go to Macedonia.
I was only in
saw-
Athens, in the area around Athens. So
We saw the turn off to Macedonia, but we didn't go that way. We went to Meteoria. We went to Delphi. We went to.
I heard Delphi's nice.
It is. It's
Athens
so
is a
nice.
cesspool. I mean, it's a fun cesspool, but it's a cesspool.
Yeah. My second night there, I wandered around.
Did you
the
notice-
Acropolis Museum, totally drunk out of my mind.
Did you notice, or is it just me, how... Okay, I don't mean skin color. I mean building color. How white Athens is. Like, don't get me wrong, lots of garbage, but,
Not
like,
as much as Santorini.
everything is white in Athens. And it makes, like, when you see a smear of dirt on a wall, like, you see that smear of dirt.
Santorini, in between paving stones, they paint white.
Wow.
That's nutty.
And like once a year, everyone in Santorini goes out, paints their house, and paints the road in front of it.
Seems like a lot of work.
That's a lot
And
of
it's
wasted
all in
paint.
white and blue.
Oh, because that's that...
Ancient tradition. Yeah, it's a really ancient tradition.
to waste
um,
paint.
It was so that when pirates raided, it was easy to find your way while running away. Like in the middle of the night. The
Huh.
moon would reflect off of all the white paint.
Huh. That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's actually
And-
kind of smart.
Can't remember if it was Santorini or which island it was, but we also went to the island where half of it was blown away in a volcanic explosion that ended the Cretan Empire.
You're kidding.
one
You
of
don't
the
you don't know the
Egyptian
name of that
dynasties.
island?
Is that Santorini or where is that? I've been there.
You don't know the name of that island. The
I've
infamous island that blew up to a volcano and a bunch of people died instantly and they were frozen completely in place. Some of them still eating dinner.
It's not Pompeii.
No,
It's not
no.
Pompeii.
So, okay. The way you described it, it sounded like Pompeii. And I'm like, you really don't know the name of that island?
Pompeii was nowhere near as big as this. This volcanic eruption spawned the myth of Atlantis and also the war between the gods and the Titans. It ended several empires, one of the Egyptian dynasties. It was around the time that the Israelites left Egypt.
Yeah, so it's our fault. Sweet. We did it.
Everything's your fault.
Yeah.
No, we did it. You guys pissed off God and we're his chosen children, so he led us away from there. Dicks.
Then wouldn't it be the
It
Egyptians?
was
that did
it was a big enough explosion that parts of it would have the ash cloud would have covered Egypt. Burning rocks from it would have hit Egypt.
And then it would have made.
Oh, right.
Then it would have caused a giant wave, a tsunami, which would have taken the water back, so Jews could have crossed the Red Sea. I've actually heard this before. Yeah.
No, it was around that time.
Here's my.
Yeah.
It's still, it's very coincidental, But yeah, I thought that's funny.
Wait, are we doing a shirtless stream today? Or no? I forget.
I am.
I remember there was a message about it, but we never decided.
I don't think we're Chad enough. Our Chad levels are not high enough.
Yeah, but we are definitely flab enough.
If I take mine off, either it'll get banned or it'll go really well.
Both. Just flat out both.
And that's a great image for Jeremy to join to.
Yeah.
Image?
Oh, you missed it.
I'll do it again.
Oh, okay.
There you go,
Why?
Jeremy.
Because it's
Why?
fun.
Is it?
You mean that, right?
Sarah, that's a double time yes. We already know that. You make the viewers go. Clearly, if this became a shirtless party, I think we'd get pulled up again.
I mean, yeah. I'm the one who would cause us problems.
No, it'd be the males. They let all the women get away with that shit. They get banned for like 7 hours. And they come back. The men never see their accounts again.
Probably
Yeah.
my beard nipples that would get us banned.
Well,
You mean the things you've been showing all night?
yeah.
No. The hair around them.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, you should braid it.
No.
Give yourself like pasties.
No, he should not.
It's not long enough.
Ah, soon.
I might have
John's got a
That just
horrible
means you have to
idea, I
shave
think.
them a couple times so the hair grows out longer.
Yeah,
I've tried that. It doesn't work.
You hear that, Sarah?
that's why you need hair growth cream.
See, when I stopped shaving my beard is when it grew out fast.
That's
So
really
then-
a myth, John.
That's
not
true,
really how it
actually.
works.
So stop shaving your beard. Let it grow out fast. Get some.
Which is funny because the opposite's true when you first start.
You know, it'd be cool. You had enough hair that you could actually braid all the way down and almost make it look like a shirt, and then get your beard back.
Wish so
That, no, it would not be.
Oh, you know what would be
I have to
better?
live with that.
Grow out your hair and your beard so you can braid them together.
At least you have your own room, Sarah.
Right?
Unitard.
There's reasons.
Jen, you could have a beard hair unitard.
Oh my god, that would be the
Ew.
funniest
I am
thing.
walking away from this. This is nope.
A big beard hair unitard, all in one.
Yeah. Like, if he grows up the back of his
And
head
we shave your
more-
stomach so you look like Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Sam Squanch.
The Sam Squanch.
Water.
Squanch.
Oh my god, Ricky, it's a Sam Squanch!
Do we know where Mr. Sandy Andy is? Should someone try to call Sandy Andy?
Have we tried summoning him yet? No.
What about Sandy Andy?
Sandy
Andy.
Sandy.
You in the chat too. Go, Sandy Andy.
How about someone calls him? I just texted the G-Man.
Why are we bringing the government here?
None of your damn business.
What did
I
you do?
think it is
At least not
considered
yet.
weird too.
What did you do?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Dun dun.
Why are we whispering?
Because it's fun.
I thought it was for the ASMR.
It is.
Oh, we should totally do
You mean like this? We should do the ASMR
Ow.
like this.
Not if you're gonna do S's like that.
What do you mean doing S's like this?
God, you need speech lessons.
No, you need speech lessons. I just enunciate.
All right, I'm gonna go take a couple bong hits. I already told the G-Man to show up. You guys call Sandy Andy. Speak of the devil, I'll be back.
If he doesn't answer, I'll stop playing as soon as he doesn't answer.
Oh, right. 'Cause it's got his whole name, doesn't it? We are live, by the way, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Just so
that's
you're
why
aware.
we're concerned about the children. With Mr. C4 taking his pants off and everything.
It's one of those good children.
Thankfully,
I
he
have-
did that before we were live, I
I
think.
have tied
No,
my beard into
Did he really?
my hair.
yeah,
He didn't have the video on. The
yeah,
video
he didn't
on.
have the feed going, but he definitely took his pants off before the stream,
No.
or like while we were live.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
That's a really good time to keep your pants on.
Why?
So many reasons.
That's how you get the views. Or banned. Or both.
Day.
Depends who's watching.
I'm not wearing my pants.
Me neither.
I'm wearing
It's
shorts.
Ugh. Fucking plus 30 without a roof over my head.
Yes, I
Fucking
need those roofs.
drilling holes.
His mom is Irish. He's got weird bits and pieces of
I'm
the
agreeing with him. He needs those roofs.
Yes, you need a roof.
Otherwise, we have no roof.
Yeah.
No rough, you get wet.
Yeah, and not the fun kind of wet.
No, just moist.
Yeah, like a good cake.
Yes, that's the word everybody's thinking of.
Yeah, who doesn't like a moist cake?
True. What other
Would
kind
you
of cake would you
rather have
want?
a dry cake, Jeremy?
Drunk.
I mean, the not triggering word would be fluffy word. But those
No,
guys, it's all
no,
about
you
that.
want a moist
Same
cake.
thing, though.
Exactly what that is.
You don't want a fluffy cake. You want a moist cake.
Or you want a drunk cake.
How about a damp cake?
No, that's just disgusting. Who wants a damp cake?
You want a drunk cake.
How is your cake drunk?
Only on Mondays.
I mean,
Like you pour
Usually-
rum over it
so it's
after
usually
cooking
drunk
it.
since-
And then you light it.
Yep.
My dad made one of those for my brother once at Bible camp. Don't know how he got away with that.
I was going to say,
Because your dad could get away with anything there.
It was not the small one, it was the big one.
It's
So, I mean, while we wait for
No,
it,
even there, I think he could get away with pretty much anything. Because
Maybe.
he actually took into account allergies.
Yeah. Wild,
Yes,
right?
So it was on fruit break.
you know, thinking about it, we should probably give a recap or something while we wait for everyone else to show up.
Introduce our
Right.
characters.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking we should probably do that.
We did
Yeah.
things which
Yeah.
led to other
Oh,
things,
gosh.
and we're not evil for once.
Yeah, now we're on a griffin.
Yes, we
Wow.
are.
We are?
Things got blown up.
Oh no, you are.
We are.
Yeah. No, I do think we should give some kind of like explanation for what we're doing instead of like, oh, here's another 2-shot, haha.
Yeah, agreed.
We aren't good at these things. We're so prepared.
I will do it in just a moment.
I was thinking the elusive
Operations
gentleman
for
should
fools.
explain things.
Yes. Yes, you should.
and then accidentally slip up and tell us all the information we need about how to beat the campaign.
Slip up and tell all the information.
Can you roll your tongue?
Yes.
You're having a stroke.
I can't clover my tongue, though. Can you clover your tongue?
No.
Yeah.
Apparently, is it rolling your tongue is a mutation, and it's a minority of people that can do it?
Yep. But, and then even less people can clover their tongue. Like, it's only like 50% of people can roll their tongue, while like maybe 10% can clover.
I'm sure I can figure it out.
It's more so like having the extra joints in your tongue.
And here's another one.
We did it. We found. Oh wait, this isn't insane.
It's not
yet.
Sandy Andy.
That's sad.
What?
I mean, hi Grady. How are you?
Sandy Andy.
Yeah, we're trying to summon him. He's ignoring our phone calls.
We've
much
learned
is-
the true names of several of our members.
Oh,
I suppose now we'll have to find yours.
who's Sandy Andy?
It's Sandy Andy.
Yeah,
So, which one
Just
of
like-
you is Sandy Andy?
none of us. He's not
Yeah.
here yet.
Andrew.
Has yet to arrive.
Andrew is Sandy Andy.
Just like Jeremy is Jerami Salami, or
And John
sometimes
is
Sandy Andy.
Jonathan Bongathan.
We only have 3 so far. We're not very creative.
Sarah's a really hard name to come up with things for.
What is?
Sarah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, Sarah.
Sarah Sriracha.
Sarah
That's
Sriracha
funny.
sauce.
Okay, well,
Oh, we are live, by the way. Now we're
oh,
just
are we?
yeah. We've
yeah.
been live for about an hour now.
Is there still people watching?
Yeah, we still have people watching because we're that interesting.
Wow.
Just us
They,
talking, like our pregame banter always keeps or draws a crowd. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people watching right now.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
That's a lot.
That's
Before
counting
we all leave?
myself.
Before
I'm
y'all
driving.
leave, we will play eventually.
Just remember, you're my favorite. You know who you are.
This also isn't one of our 2 shots, so it'll be longer.
Yeah, it's already longer than most of our 2 shots.
Woo! Yeah, cat. Trying to kill me.
Are we on 7?
No, this is session 8. I think. Right? Because we started back in like end of May, early June, right?
Yeah, about that.
Wait, let's find out. I can do this scientific way.
I can't remember which of my books has my notes in it.
The one on the left.
Oh, are we good to go, or are we gonna wait?
Definitely not that.
I mean, we're waiting on.
I
Sandy
vote we
Andy.
start because
It would be a good
it
idea
is
to
our
start.
thing.
We might as well
It is
start.
us on Griffin back first.
Yeah. We're doing the Griffin adventure.
All right.
I don't remember what we're. Oh wait, I remember what we're doing. But for everyone else, Jeremy, we need a recap.
I can do that if Jeremy wants.
Let the host do it.
Yeah. So it's not a two-shot Friday for people who are joining us. We are now starting officially.
Okay.
We're playing D&D tonight, but we're playing our D&D campaign. We just started a new campaign, so if you've been following us
We started it in the week after May 8th.
Yeah.
Because that's when we did our barbecue session.
So
Yeah,
we
literally
ended
right when
we ended our last campaign and we had a giant barbecue, so we're starting a new one. We're all still level 3. We all started at level 3. We haven't leveled up yet. The campaign takes place in... The name of the town is... I don't have my notes in front of me because I'm an idiot.
Started in White Orchard, and we are now in Iron Phoenix.
It doesn't really matter, the names. The point is
because White Orchard burned down immediately.
where before we played really villainous characters, we're trying a new thing for our group. A new thing for our group, which
Working
is
together.
teamwork. And it's weird.
So weird.
It's really weird, actually, working together. So to introduce to our new, and with us, we have a new player, person below us, who is Atomic Tyrant. He played a 2-shot with us about 2-3 months ago, and started with us on our new campaign. To go over each character from what I remember, I am playing Chuck, Charles Herman Eugene Chandler Kronk. He is a half halfling, half cloudling. He got sunglasses, a mullet, and he praises the Great Gator. We have Jan over here, the Shield Maiden, who's playing Edenine, a Warforged that is supposedly just forgets, but has lived a long time. We have below him the Greasy Boy playing a bard with a sexy ivory violin who knows everyone for some reason. Seems to know a lot of people. Beside him, Atomic Tyrant is playing, if you've ever read the Dresden Files, that's all I need to really say. If you haven't, then this is when you go look up Dresden while you're listening to my beautiful voice.
He's playing the cat.
And the Viking herself is playing, I believe it is a UA.
No,
No,
it's homebrew.
it's a homebrew.
Yeah.
It's a witch, right?
Yeah. None of you
And
guys know
it has
that.
been really
Dude, I'm not gonna tell
interesting.
you that.
Usually when I find out about homebrews and stuff as a DM, my first thing is to learn everything about them. But since I'm just a player, I've specifically not looked at anything related to the witch in 5e. So everything the Miss Viking does is pretty unique. And it's
There are multiple versions of it as well.
Yeah, you would probably find the really OP, terrifying one.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the Mystic.
It's the one that was
Don't
played
ruin it for
my
me.
one shot a while back.
Don't ruin it for me.
Yeah, that one was fun, but it was wild.
Don't ruin it for me. Sandy, it's Zaniac if he shows up.
Sandy Andy, yeah.
If Zaniac shows up, he's been kind of playing as a part-time character because he works a lot over in Ontario, and he'll be playing Blathian, my cousin, a fat halfling. Even though we're
You know
not
his full name?
I actually don't know Sir Blathian's full name, but he's a fat halfling in a crab chair. If you've ever seen Wild Wild West, the bad guy in that crab walking chair, imagine just a really fat halfling with little tangly feet. And he's an archaeologist, and I do love Blathian. He's pretty fun.
He is pretty great.
We're playing more of a. So far, it's been more of a discover and noir campaign. As even though it's set, it kind of feel. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of got a real 50s feel so far. Like I imagine all the
No.
architecture like 40s, 50s, maybe like 30s, like got that
I think
Art Deco
20s
style.
actually.
Like I keep seeing like all this Art Deco style, and then like just with the way things are done, because we did one thing where I had to go get money because my mother owns a bar, and I beat a guy up for money, so it feels very 1930s esque. And with that, now that I've displayed the characters and set up the scene, I believe we find ourselves with a Warforged and a Bard on a Griffin flying north.
You don't even know what race I'm playing.
I've never
True.
asked.
What about me?
I
You
never.
didn't even say my name.
ASMR.
Yeah. Or
I was
mine.
hoping you guys could fill that in. I don't have my notes in front of me, so I'm going off pure what I remember.
Well, I'm Kalishtar, and my name is Zinni.
That's it.
I'm playing an Aasimar half-elf named Thelen.
Anything else I missed?
Yeah, you got me.
You didn't say the name
Of who?
of the Shield Maiden.
No,
Yeah,
you
he
said
did.
my name.
She said.
He did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said N of 9. I only remember that one because 7 of 9.
Yeah, that's fair. I missed it then.
Well, I missed something. The last thing I remember was the mirror.
Yeah, you fell asleep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you fellas. Well,
So, long story short,
You guys kept playing after I had to get off.
not
Yeah, but only for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, we just set up for this session.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
All
all
the
went to
time.
sleep,
yeah.
and we were going to the college, and we found ourselves on the back of a griffin going to a haunted mansion.
Actually, it was a villa.
the
A haunted villa.
does this haunted mansion belong to Luigi? Yes or no?
No,
No,
maybe.
Did you bring your vacuum just in
depends
case?
on what Sir Jeremy named the.
No, it belongs
And
to
the-
Bowser. He stole it from Luigi.
Did he?
Liberated it
I
from
never
Luigi.
played the game. Although it sounds like something Luigi would do. Let Bowser take over his castle.
Fair.
It's me, a second-rate character.
Okay, so I remember mentioning before, I am using some music in this. So I'm gonna have to link something, but this is copyrighted music.
Oh, okay, so don't play it.
Not go on
on
stream.
live.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to double check to make sure.
If anything, there is a royalty-free music that is probably similar to what you have in mind.
Yeah, but then you'd have to find the right music.
That's true. Okay. Oh, I do have ones right in front of me. Cool. I'll just
you
play
only
it through my
have to
earbuds.
And this is a song that's actually very close to Thelen.
Pretty sure you only have to pay royalties if you make money.
No.
No,
You get shut down if
Algorithm.
you don't have the money to pay.
Trust us.
Yeah, algorithms can do funky things.
Yeah, they're not nice to people like us.
I guess. Lawyers are paid to be music.
So we find a and a ASMR made from what you were wearing last.
I'm wearing my clothes of mending in my usual green and black attire with the gold trim around the edges of the top.
So slightly noble looking. And you proceed up over the city.
Just like this. But
Okay.
colored.
Very
And from
fancy.
this view, the city is huge, just massive, sprawling mansions. The marble building striated with this like liquid iron glints off the sun and kind of causes almost like a pearlescent glow over the city as the sun's starting to it's starting to rise still. We're 11 a.m. I think, 11:30ish. And you fly for about an hour and a half over the city, watching the bustling streets below. As you progress towards the wall, suddenly you see like armored soldiers who have mounted the walls, walking back and forth. And they don't notice you at first as you kind of like approach the walls and then sail up over. But as you sail over, they're like shouting things at you and waving their arms. You're muted.
Yeah.
I wave back.
You what?
He waves back.
He waves back. He's just waving at them, and they're like clearly like shaking their fists and shouting something at you, right? But it's like two people in the back with like an unarmored griffin, so clearly not a threat to the city, but clearly you're
Breaking some law.
breaking some kind of flight laws over the walls of the city. As you progress over the wall, the sprawling prairies lay before you. Several small hamlets dotting the fields. And in the distance, you see the greenery of the ashwood forest, and it's almost like grayish bark. The continent is beautiful at like high noon, pretty much. Sun straight in the sky, very few clouds. And you're up at this high. You'd see airships and zeppelins going from the city, leading to the east as you head over the west. And you ride for another maybe a half hour. Thelen pointing over your shoulder into a direction to. It's like a large flattened area. It looks like the buildings used to cover much more zonage than it does now. But in a very almost bare, flattened area is one small, like, two-level manor and a series of crumbling building walls. And barren and almost dried farmlands stretching. Not enough to support a city or even a small town. More of like a personal garden for like a small family, less than a couple 100 feet. But as you get closer, the small, like, it's almost like ants on the hill. Tons of very nicely dressed nobles, a lot of carts pulled out along the gravel road, maybe 300-400 feet from the hill. And a stream of like noblemen, noble ladies, and almost like courtiers shuffling back and forth along the property as you guys arrive. Not only a lot of people take note of your arrival until after you land. Thelen's given the once over, but a couple people give Ada the eye, and you hear under like whispered breath how suspected Thelen is a noble of like some kind of high class noble if he has a tin man personal servant. But it appears that most of them are looking around the yards. There are quite a few of these gray-suited, very plain-looking, almost servant-looking people. When one slowly approaches you, "Excuse me, are you here for the showing?"
Yes, we are.
Do you have a time, or are you just a walk-in?
You're just a walking today.
He nods. The grounds are over there. You may walk anywhere around the main floor that you'd like, but please have somebody escort you into the upstairs should you wish to explore.
Of course.
And then he kind of nods and then turns and begins helping somebody else, kind of looking around behind you. It seems you're kind of left to your devices, standing outside of its like a semi-half crumbling 2-level manor.
I look at Thelen and say, "Inquiry. Did this manor not have a basement?"
We're not telling them that, are we?
Inquiry. Do you believe that the basement is lost?
I do not.
Shall we go there then?
We would need the key. Which I flash the ring to Edda. We just happen to have.
I nodded that. Shall we go then?
Of course. I would lead to where the cellar door would be, Jeremy.
So you go around back to where your cellar doors would be, and they don't appear to be there.
Interesting.
The manor has changed just a little bit since you've been here in 13 years.
Do I see where, or anything that would show me where it could be now?
Perception or investigation or nature?
Investigation or nature, you say? That would be a 17 for nature.
17 for nature.
Yep.
Looking around the back wall where the cellar door should have been, it's definitely been modified. It looks like an extra foundation has been put in place. Like somebody's reinforced the foundations. And it's probably been stretched back a little bit. So the manor is actually like the back wall has been stretched back like 2 or 3 feet. The building is just a little bit larger. This is not the exact same building that you remember quite either. Like most of the outside is the same, but there are definitely big chunks of like scaffolding and almost like that Tyvek style drywalling and wrapping around the outside. But you do notice the ground has been disturbed too around part of the area. Like it's been reburied over.
All right. Is there anyone else around the back?
There's a few people kicking around.
Are they within earshot?
Maybe. Whether they're paying attention to you.
Well,
Plus
then...
Urban's maybe like 25 feet away. 25, 30 feet away.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of like looking at, and you can hear him and his wife very excitedly talking about things they could do with things.
Well, I would whisper to Edda, saying, basement should be here.
Hypothesis.
It's
Could
probably
be.
under. It might have been buried. So if we come back later, we might be able to dig it up.
I nodded that. Shall we take a look inside the house, make you look like a noble?
I believe we should. Put up appearances and everything like that. And I would have my violin case with me as well. Over my shoulder.
I'll walk respectful 2 paces behind him.
So you guys approach the front again, walk up the landing, past the 2 columns, the large double doors, and you have the large like entranceway landing with like the huge like double wide set of stairs up to the 2nd floor. To the left is a massive room. Thelen remembers this as like the guest living room. The right side was the children's play area. And then there's a double set of doors behind the set of stairs, which leads to the public library is what it was referred to as, because Stellan's father had his own private library. A room that Stellan has maybe seen the inside of once or twice, but never actually walked in.
That seems like the first place to check out. As I would explain.
Yeah. I lean close to Thelen, making myself kind of look bodyguard-ish, as well as personal servant. Do not most... I say very quietly, do not most houses have another entrance to the cellar inside?
We do, but it was hidden behind the servants' quarters. Too easy as to not allow the children to play in the cellar.
They did say that anything on the first floor is open for us to freely look at.
They did? The only issue is I don't recall where the servants' quarters were.
I would suggest looking for doors in in the dining room. Small doors.
Yeah?
We could start in the dining room, or
What?
that would be too astute.
You're a jerk!
If we were to start with, say, the library, we could go through there and then cut into the kitchen from there, or the dining room from there.
I nod and step back. Very good, sir, I say in a louder voice, but not overly loud, like normal speaking voice.
I would lead us to the library first.
So you, from the landing, you walk behind her, like, in and around the stairs, open up the double doors are wide open. You walk in, there's probably two people and one of the showing people, the showing servants, talking about how, like, extravagant this library is. And it's, the whole house has been empty so far, except for the library. All the books, like, all the books. There's, two shelves that line either wall, and then the back wall is like a large bay window. And all four shelves are like completely packed. There's space for a large office desk if you wanted it. But yeah, books seem to line the wall, and each of the bookshelves has an engraving on it. Like a handwritten R that sweeps into a T.
Do I recognize it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I would hope so.
I'd be afraid if you didn't.
I mean, 13 years is a long time.
Do any of the books look like they shouldn't, like they don't fit there?
Make a perception check or investigation.
Perception. 19.
19. Ada notices that this is the most superficial collection of books ever. Like, basically, if somebody had walked into a bookstore and then bought, like, the entire first 5 rows of books, didn't matter what shelf they picked.
Lord. Oh, no. Okay, then.
So there's nothing really of interest. There's like half the dictionary collection, right? There's
Library. Who would expect that?
No, on seeing that, I start looking at Dylan like, really?
I'm going to be honest, I've only been in here maybe once.
Most of these books look very new within like the last year printed.
Are there any that don't?
This library
I was
doesn't have
about to ask
there's
that.
no dust in this building whatsoever. It's like super cleaned all the time, and these books like they haven't even been the spine to.
Are there any that don't look
Yeah.
as new?
Yeah.
On that same investigation check, no. Like I said, everything seems like it's been bought like a week ago, just to make this look like it's an in-order room. Because the shelves are all built into the walls, right?
I see. It's literally a show home.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The auction being tomorrow, I think.
I would run my hand along the initials carved into the shelf.
Yep. They are. So when you run your fingers, they're actually not engraved. They're like it's like carved into the wood, so that they protrude or sticks out.
Okay. And is that how most of the stuff was before?
Yes. Very little to this library has been changed. It is a little longer because of the extension under the back of the house.
Yeah.
How big is the extent? I would ask Salen how big this extension is.
Maybe 3 feet.
Oh, okay.
So the way he would have pointed out the back cellar, it would have covered up maybe about 3 feet of the cellar. And then the rest looks like it was patched over with dirt and the grass grew. But it is a little uneven where the hatch was.
So this library is about 3 feet longer as well?
Yes.
Are there bookshelves in the place that it got extended?
It would have been the back wall. And it looks like the entire back wall was taken off and replaced with this bay window.
Sorry?
It's a bay window that covers the entire.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Out of curiosity, do you have a floor plan for this drawn up?
Do I have a floor plan? No, I don't have.
Okay.
There wouldn't be one readily available. Like I said, it'd be a little modified.
Yeah, I'm just thinking for notes. If I had like one that I would have remembered to some degree. Well, after examining the library, we would head to the dining room.
Okay, so heading back, there's the one back door up towards the dining room, and then the other one towards the kitchen. And you go out through into the dining room area, and it's all blank except for the and 2 roof vents.
The 2 what? Sorry?
Roof vents. They're like lined up.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing those are also new.
Nope, those seem to be the same. A lot of the stuff in the house, inside the house, seems to be a lot of the same.
Okay.
But the outside seems like it underwent a lot of heavy-duty renovation. I mean, in 13 years, the weather damage, right?
Yeah.
Are there any easily noticeable smaller doors that look like they're to servants' quarters?
No, there are no servants' quarter doors in this place. Thelen would actually remember, like kind of like a slave plantation, how they had the barracks off the main building.
Oh, okay.
Same kind of idea, except for the servants had their own barracks, and then there was 2 mercenary barracks that were also ran, because this used to be like a mercenary.
Okay. Then redact what I said about there being servants' quarters in here.
Yeah.
Would I remember there being another door into the basement inside or no?
Funny enough, you don't. You guys always had to go around the back. But you do remember seeing a mysterious set of stairs in the basement when you were a child. Your sisters were told to never go.
Did they go up or down?
Up.
I know it's a long shot, but can I roll something to see if I can remember whereabouts in the basement it was?
Sure. Survival, I believe.
Survival.
Yeah, that's directionals.
Nat 20s for a 21.
Oh, jeez.
I did it.
Positioning wise, not far from the cellar, so somewhere towards the back end of the house.
So somewhere in the library.
Either the library or the dining area.
I would gesture for Edda to come closer again.
I take a.
But also of note is your father's office is above the library.
Like his office was above the library?
Yeah, on the second floor.
Okay.
I take a step forward and lean forward.
So, from what I remember with the basement, there is a second set of stairs, but it was near the back where we would have gone in from the cellar, and we were always told not to go up those stairs. So, if I had to guess, it's either in this room, the library, or on the second floor. And
Are there any rooms in that area that you were not to go to, or not encouraged to go to?
There would be the office, which is above the library on the second floor. So if I had to guess, there is a passage from there to the basement.
Very good, sir.
You are heading out into the main area, looking around for one of the people in gray.
Okay, there's one standing by the door.
By the front door?
Like the front door, yeah.
I'd snap my fingers at them.
So they probably notice you right away with your like snappy motions. They run, yes sir, how can I help you?
Are you able to take us to the second floor? I have some planning for that section of the house.
Sure, you wish to see the master bedroom?
That and the study as well, please.
And he kind of nods and he brings you upstairs. Can you go up it's like 25 stairs up onto the second floor. Very fancy. It looks like most of the stairs have been replaced too. It's all new. But it's just been replaced. Like it looks the same style. But you don't see any of the raven tree cliffs or teas or anything anywhere. And you get to the top, and he leads you to the left. Normally, you're so used to turning right, almost like half muscle memory, right? But it's been so long that you just kind of find yourself looking that way for a second. Where your old bedroom is, Reva's old bedroom was, and the nursery.
Do I see anything that catches my eye that direction?
Reva's would be just down the hall. You'd be just out of view. So you go left down the hall, and then there'd be like an L bend, and your room was at the end, and the nursery and Reva's were right across the hall from each other at the end of the hall. Your room is bare, except for you look at the trademark. Selin was 3 feet. Selin was 3.5 feet. Selin was 4 feet. You can see the inch marks.
Just on the door frame?
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing catches my eye on that side?
Not really.
Nothing on that?
Old memories, maybe.
As
you go
we're
down the
about
left.
to leave, I would touch that wall.
Okay. You kind of
And-
walk over and touch the wall, and
Just look at the difference from where I am now and from where I am there. Like almost reminiscing.
when you're disturbed by the voice, "Excuse me, sir, the master bedroom is this way. Yes, we will have all the walls fully painted should you buy the place."
Oh, that won't be necessary.
And you kind of follow him back down the hall, and you turn into this space for a huge bed, like 5 piece dresser set. But everything's bare. You can see kind of in some places where the wood looks poor and like heavy objects were kind of dragged everywhere when they were. And then the side door to the office, which is now hanging slightly. You first look and you get that almost guilty, pleasure look of oh, Dad left it open again, and then you remember you find yourself here again, right? 13 years later, it's empty, but it still feels wrong for it to be open. You look about the room, and the servant kind of stands waiting, just kind of watching. And then points. If you'd like to go to the office, it's just over there.
Is there anyone else on this floor?
There's probably somebody in the nursery. You could just hear one of the servants very quietly, kind of down the hall.
I'll just go Tin Man as I walk over to the office.
Okay. So you approach the office, and half of it's exactly like you remember. So from the doorway, you see nothing. Bookshelf is gone. Your father's old wartime chest is gone, and his hat full rack is gone. But then, as you approach the door, the huge, very nice oak carved desk that is basically like a tailored off of connection to the wall is still in the room, and it's highly carved, very nice chairs sitting next to it. Both are covered in a small layer of dust. You can see fingerprints kind of scattered on the desktop. And the RT signet is everywhere.
I'll go over to the desk and run my hand across the top of it. See if I feel anything.
It's very smooth. The intricate work carved across the sides and just like lattice work on it. It's quite beautiful. The elven druid your dad had grow this desk 20 something or 50, it would be like 50 something years ago. Was very highly paid for. And you kind of trace your fingers along the desk. When it's maybe as a child you would have never noticed it before. But across one of the desk has the arms on the top leading to the upper kind of cabinets, right? It's
Sorry?
writing space. It's got 2 upper cabinets on top of this desk.
Okay.
And you notice kind of scrawled into the scroll work across the top of the 2 cabinets are what appear to be musical notes. And you tracing your fingers over it is kind of what caused you to it. First you're like, wait, what do you kind of feel it? And you can feel the 5 lines and the dots and the little denotations. There's a song here. The more you feel your fingers across it, the more you recognize this song. You used to play it to your sister all the time. So this is the Raven's Lament. But you don't see any openings to these 2 cabinets.
place my violin case on the desk.
Okay.
Looking over at Edda, saying, "Oh, this brings back memories." As I bring it out to play.
Okay.
And I will play the Raven's Lament.
You start playing the song, and the servant from the other room is saying, it has quite good acoustics. As you begin to play this song, and you get about halfway through, like a good minute in, when you hear a soft, subtle click.
Where did the click come from?
Somewhere in the desk.
And you said that on the desk, the whole thing is written on the top of it, correct? Like scribed in almost?
Scribed all
Along
around the outsides, not across the face.
Okay. I will try and open the drawer, or the first drawer, see if anything happens.
I'll move to kind of halfway block the real estate agent's view. So it kind of
So-
looks like he's just fiddling with the desk.
And so the desk is out of view completely, right? Like it's in the office kind of. So you're tracing your fingers along the cupboards, and before they were indented. Now they're actually like depressed a little bit, like outwards. There's like a 0.5 centimeter clearance right around the outside where this cupboard is. It feels like the face of it kind of popped out just dislodged.
Does it open if I pull?
It doesn't seem to respond to pulling, but it seems to, as you're like pulling on it, it kind of jiggles a little bit, giving the impression it could be pushed.
I'll give it a push then.
So you push it, and you hear like the soft, subtle click again, or series of clicks, like click, click, click. And then the almost grinding of wood as the wall kind of sinks backwards and slowly begins to shift sideways. When a response from the hallway, like, "What are you guys doing in there?" And the servant begins to walk over towards the office.
Think you can handle him?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Think you can handle him?
I nod and walk over to the door. And,
No death.
And shut it.
Okay, so he starts, like, the servant starts to walk over the door. You like turn, like, make eye contact, and then just close the door. And he kind of rushes over to like stop you, but you just kind of shove the door shut. Make an athletics check.
Happily.
I like how the cat's
16.
looking around the same as you.
How much?
16.
16. So you feel like the body weight being pushed against the door, but this like feeble being behind the door has no give. Like they're just this tiny little man. Right? There's a body weight thing. You're like looking at your tin body. You're iron, right? You figure if I just stand right here, they can't get this door. He's banging on the door for like a good couple seconds. How do you guys respond? Like, hey, let me in. You can't be in there. And he starts banging on the door.
I gesture at Thelen to head into the tunnel, and that I'll follow after as soon as he figures out how to close it.
Alright. I head down the tunnel.
So you step down into the revealed darkened stairwell. And you step down like a couple steps to turn back and look, and the whole desk, like your father's brilliant. It's built into the wall, but on like a sliding menu. So there are two like that submarine door style entrance on the other side. So you slide it shut, and then you actually spin this hatch.
What's the lighting like in here?
There is no lighting. You see alcoves every about 10 feet in the wall, but there's only traces of melted candles left in them.
I will use light on my bow.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, from the violin?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
uh,
So you kind of light up
what
this.
do the walls look like?
It's the inside of walls.
Like, it would be like the
You
patchwork
see a
kind of
lot
stuff
of
on the
you
inside?
see, like the framework and where the drywall and stuff would have been put up, and where, or like if the walls are wood, where the hard wall would have been nailed up to. But you're on the inside. Lots of exposed nails sticking from walls. But there's this nice set of stairs that look like they haven't been used in well over a decade. And then echoing from the office above is this servant banging on the door.
Does the so I shut the door and then I continue walking down the stairs.
What,
Are
you're
the
not
stairs
going
wood or
to-
stone?
You're not going to. You're just going to ditch me?
I mean, it's that way. It looks like we are not like. It doesn't look like we're as suspicious because as soon as you get or move from the door, he will open the door.
I mean, as soon as you close the door, I step back a couple steps and put my hands behind my back and stand like a good servant.
Okay, so Felon slides this desk closed and like locks the hatch.
Yeah.
All right. And then proceeds on down the stairs.
As the servant barges in, that's gonna be fun.
So you see the door close. Like Ada watches the desk kind of slide shut. Like, wait, what the fuck? And then at the same time, like, I'll be right back, and you're gonna regret it. And then from the other side, the knocking ceases.
As soon as the knocking ceases and the hatches, the desk is closed. Actually, do I hear them walking away?
Like storming off.
Can I
Stomping
see?
footprints.
Can I see if I can figure if I can remember enough of the tune to hum it?
Make an insight check.
Yes, not my greatest. But with a 19, that goes up to 20.
20? Maybe?
I would like to hum the song.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Oof. 14.
14. So you start humming this tune, and it's like a good minute before, like, suddenly the door gets kicked open because you're back over by the desk, humming at this desk. And these two servants are staring at you as you're humming at the desk, and you slowly, like, make eye contact with them. They're, like, looking, like, wait, where's your friend? Or where's your master?
I'll look at them passively. The master has business he was called away to.
Make a deception check.
6.
The other servant looks over at you, looks back at the other one and like whispers something, and the other one kind of nods. And they both look at you and they're like, all right, we'll be right back. And then they both turn and they leave.
I stand there passively.
Okay. Felon, you proceed down this darkened stair. Definitely down 2 flights of stairs.
How many stairs are there?
Probably 50 some odd stairs,
Okay.
at least. And then you can feel that cold, like, still dampness as you get to, like, stair number 40. and you proceed into this almost damp, cool cellar as you remember it. All stonework as you get to the bottom. So it's like a tiny little set of stairs, only a feet wide, and you get to the very bottom. And it opens up, like turns right, and then opens up into a like 40 by 40 room, of which most is empty except for a single alcove across the hall, like across the room from you, where a dais used to sit and a specific raven-haired matron bust used to sit within the alcove.
And it's not there anymore.
The bust is definitely not there. And the dais seems to be old and dusty. And as you approach, there are cobwebs that litter all over the thing. But it has like a single, like open, almost like cubby in the back end of it. And sitting inside the cubby is an old yellow parchment.
I will pick it up gently.
Okay. So you pick up this dusty parchment. It looks like it's been here forever. But it's got the Raventree signet stamp, like the wax. But the wax is so dried out, you can like peel it off.
Running my fingers along it, I will go to peel off the wax gently.
Okay.
And if it comes off easily, I will unroll it.
You want to roll it?
Yeah.
So you unroll it, and there are two pieces of paper in here. One kind of falls out of your hand, like falls to the floor as you were ready for it as the parchment opened. But the glint of gold script glints off the page that falls. The one you're holding onto is quite clearly your father's handwriting.
What does it say?
So it opens up very formal. Let me see here. Read all of my notes. I didn't tell you your dad's name yet.
No, you didn't.
You didn't come up with one yet. Okay.
It's Papa.
Totally.
Actually, it was father.
Oh, you had one of those.
In your case, it was probably Sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Is his name Uncle Pops?
Uncle Billy Bob.
Why not Uncle Bobby Bill?
So it would be Lord Carlos Raventree of the it'd be Lord Carlos Raventree, commander of the Carbon Dragons, and Alright. Lord Protector of Raventree. And it goes on, to my son Thelen, if you are reading this, then I have surely passed. Meaning you are the true rightful heir to the lore, to the Raventree Manor. Included within is a deed to the current estate. However, our family has a very dark secret, one that we've kept hidden from you for many years. We called it Blood for Fortune, simple in its conception, yet complex in its finality. Should you take up the Raventree mantle, the tithes start small, a cut upon your finger, a blooded nose. Then before long, it becomes severe actions regretted. But if not met, you will experience misfortunes. At first, it felt a boon. But many years after, my dreams become haunted by drums and fire, voices, so many voices. I fear they come. Or yet, I have lost myself to madness. And it kind of trails off. Some of this, it goes incoherent for a little bit. Kind of like drums in the dark, voices and shadows, a nearing of doom and gloom, and what he fears to be the family's misfortune. However, he has found something that he believes can help. For him, it was too late. For you, there may still be time if you choose to take up, if you truly choose to take up the lore of Raventree. And within is at the bottom of the note is like scrawled coordinates. And then below the coordinates is a weird series of numbers and decimals.
Interesting. I go to pick up what I assume is the deed.
Yeah, the deed on the floor. It's
What?
scrawled out. It has your initials written in your father's name and your hand, like your fingerprint in blood from when you were a child. You actually remember putting your finger to this paper and not knowing what it was for.
That's
Your father
super
told you
creepy.
some kind of family record.
And you said the dais is still here, correct?
Yes, the dais is still here.
I put the letter and the deed in my pocket before letting out a little whistle, creating a dagger.
Creating a dagger?
With the creation bard feature.
Yep.
And I prick my finger over the dais.
All right. So you prick your finger and you let the blood drip onto the dais?
Yep.
The dais, the second your blood hits, it begins to react. Slowly at first, this light forms around where the blood hits, and then cascades out over the cross at the top of the surface, and then down through the dais, down through the central shaft, and the legs holding it up And then suddenly this whole glowing form begins to stretch and shift and change. And it takes the shape of a coat rack, but upon it hangs one of the most glorious mantles I've ever seen. This thing is beautiful. It's like 5.5 feet. It's like a cape with shoulder pieces, like the shoulder epaulets, and so the shoulder epaulets they shine almost a silvery color. You'd recognize mithril when you see it. And the mithril epaulets are just lined with this dark, silky black raven feathers that stretch up to about 5.5 feet long.
Is this the? I'm going to guess the cloak.
Your father
over
used to
there?
wear this cape all the time. This was your father's mantle, his cape. The raven tree epaulets.
I reach out to touch it slowly at first.
Okay.
Almost pulling away at the thought of grabbing it.
You kind of reach out and find yourself like tucking back at that first like feeling of together, almost like it might snatch out at you. And then you slowly get like clogged and like push your hand across them. They're so soft.
I go to take it off the hook.
It's light too.
Would I know if mithrils should be heavier or not?
It should be light. Yeah, it's a famed dormant metal for elven metals like this.
I go to put it on.
It seems to fit you perfectly,
Almost like it's magical.
almost like it was meant to. The shoulder pieces fit perfectly in place, and the cape doesn't seem to hamper you at all as it kind of glides behind you. And you notice how it almost seems to never really touch the floor. It seems to just a little float off the bottom. It gives you that commanding feeling of the cape should flow behind you.
I don't want to say it, but I feel like this is a cloak of billowing.
But you don't feel any innate magical effects.
It's just
Like,
a really good,
Nothing happens to you.
well-touched cape.
Absolutely. Probably the finest, most beautiful cape you've ever seen in decades. Well, in a decade.
As I don my cloak or my cape, I will rush along the clothes of mending to help them match into what it looks like now, like with the cloak. So like black with the mithril lines all over, and the if or with ornate like raven patterns all along it. If that is something that it would cost or be able to cost or not. You were saying there's a limit on what it costs.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, I would try to get it to match as close as possible. Even if it's a silver fabric instead of a like the mithril lining.
Yeah.
And as I don it, does anything else happen?
Nope.
I bow at the dais before heading up the stairs again.
Okay.
And do I hear anything on the other side when I get to the top?
So you don this thing up at the top. Ada just waits, eh?
Oh yeah. I'm
Okay.
trying to I'm trying to make myself look like a mindless servant.
So the
Almost like a
two
golem.
gray suited servants show up with an iron knight. In there, sir, he's in there. And suddenly the knight strides in. Where is your master? I demand to see him at once.
The master is on business. Has been called away for business. He
And he, like,
instructed
looks
me
at
to
you.
wait.
And which way did he go?
He instructed me to not answer.
Well, I'm instructing you to answer, and I supersede his orders.
I am sorry, sir, but that does not match with my standing orders.
And he just kind of like looks at you for a second, like expecting more, and then you don't just kind of stare back at him. Right? And he looks at them, and then he looks at you, and he's kind of confused for a second, like.
I'd be confused. I mean, they're servants. He's obviously a servant. The fuck am I supposed to do here?
Then he kind of like, you see his shoulders like in his plate even slump for a second. Then I guess we shall wait for your master. He kind of crosses his arms and he stares at you.
Very good. I stare back.
Selin, do you just go back out?
If I don't hear anything, yeah. Or if I get there as he's like demanding my presence, can I like open the door as flamboyantly as possible?
So there's this like, fine, we shall wait for your master, and then this slow, subtle grinding of wood that slowly gets faster and faster as Selin's trying to like push the door open. Like, and also he like looks like, what the hell? You see him jump for a second, right? Like not expecting the literal wall to.
I look at a deadpan and say, "The master has returned."
And he like looks at you, and then he begins to look at the servants, and he's like, "Did you know that this was here?" And they're suddenly like, "What is here?" They both kind of like, you see like almost like Scooby Doo, like the one head poke in, and then the second head poke in, and they're both suddenly these two servants are dumbfounded. Wait, what? And they're like stumbling over each other's words. They look at each other, and then they look at you two, like, "How did you find that?"
I simply respond, "The master has returned."
The paladin kind of like shakes his hand a little bit, like, "Yes, we understand that," and turns to look at Felon. "How did you come to find yourself in Parrot's secret passage?"
As the rightful heir of the Raventree estate, I have the knowledge of my father and his father before him.
He just like looks at you confusedly for a second, right? Like, what? And then the two servants are like, he's not the heir. This place is selling tomorrow."
I pull out the deed and show it to the White Knight.
So the Iron Knight takes the deed, he reads it over, he looks at them, he's like, "Well, whoever's running this auction just lost a lot of money, I can tell you that much." And he shows them the deed, and the two servants, they like look at it, they're like, "It must be forged. That's got to be fake." The knight kind of shrugs, he's like, "Well, it looks official to me." And he hands it back to Felon. And then he looks at Dell and he's like, "You're going to have that notarized at the Pearl Fortress."
Yes, of course.
And then he looks at the servants and then looks back at you and he's like, "You should probably hop too on that." And he kind of smiles and strides out of the room like his job's done. And the two servants are like yelling at him, like, "But wait, you have to," and they're like shouting at him to like arrest you and like take the ruffians out of the house. This is supposed to be like a fancy showing.
Are they just yelling?
No, they follow after the knight. They're shouting
Oh,
at him.
okay.
And the knight's like straight up ignoring him, just striding out of the house. You can hear the clanking of his suit armor down the stairs.
Once they're out of earshot, I look over at Thelen. Statement. That is one of the most amusing things I have done in a very long time.
You'll have to tell me about it when or while we're at the Pearl Fortress.
I nod.
So you guys leave and head to the DMV?
Head to the DMV.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah.
We've actually described the Pearl Fortress as basically being like the DMV before.
Yeah. Yep.
The
Yeah.
DMV
If we
surprising
catch up to
time.
the White Knight before he leaves,
You can try.
okay. Because
I mean, the servants ran and grabbed him, so he can't be that far. Assuming he's probably like a state guard. Right?
yeah. I approach him and ask him to remove the riffraff.
He laughs. He tells you once you have that notarized, you bring it back, and you'll have a small squadron help you do exactly that.
Perfect, thank you.
And he just salutes you. Enjoy your new house, sir.
Thank
Or should I say, Lord? And he kind of nods to you.
I nod at him. And how long has it been since we left the city?
Roughly about 2 hours now.
Okay, so the Griffin is still there.
Yeah.
Shall we return back home? Or, well, at least the DMV.
Fly
Absolutely,
back to the
sir.
Pearl Fortress. As you're mounting up to, I think the knight kind of shouts at you and tells you there's like a specific way you're supposed to enter the city by air.
Okay.
And he points out the gates. Basically, if you fly high enough over the walls, because there's like a specific air portion of the walls that, like, if you approach it, the knights are technically supposed to attack you.
Okay. So just go higher, then they can shoot?
No, he's like so it's 100 feet over the walls is what's considered Zeppelin zone.
Oh, okay. I thank him as I mount up on the Griffin,
Okay, so you guys,
waiting for Edda.
Yeah, I climb on as well.
and you guys would arrive back at the Pearl Fortress roughly about an hour later. 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. And
Okay.
you guys got to go through roughly. You're gonna be stuck there for about 3 hours.
Oh, so close. If it, only it was 4.
I know, right?
Get that long rest in while we wait.
I mean, technically, you get the short rest.
Because of the Elven heritage stuff, 4 hours is a long rest for me, technically.
Oh, fair,
If
fair.
I read that correct?
Dirty elves. They're 4-hour rests.
I mean, you're not doing anything. Right?
Yeah, just
that
waiting.
That would be considered light work, as long as you don't get into a fight in that last hour, or like have to do something complicated, like have some smells and shit, right? Like actually
Yeah.
accent or something. But if you do nothing for 4 hours, until that last hour after you're done there, I mean, go to an inn and have a beer. So I think yours is a trance, though, isn't it? You guys should trance out.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fair.
so you do have to trance out before.
That's fair. Then I wouldn't be able to then.
And then go to the. Where's everybody else?
I went straight to bed.
Zinni, and Chuck are at the Black Baron, sleeping, I believe. And I think Dresden went back to his office.
Great.
So if you guys
Yeah.
just want to sleep 6 hours, 3
Um,
hours.
Yeah,
I mean, I also only need 4 hours.
I'd sleep because I do all the stuff that I'm like All stuff I do in the morning because I have to go see my accountant. So I don't suppose seeing him at night would be the best time.
What
Yeah.
time is it when we go back?
So they get to the Pearl Fortress about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys got back to the hotel at about 10:30. The broth.
So like 10:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will meditate for 4 hours.
Then before I long rest, I would go see Estevez and tell him to send a letter to I have to Suave and a letter to the other one. I have the name here on my phone. And I
To Celestial Tom?
No. Oh, Celestial Tom, yes. Not the disgusting.
Yeah,
Not
no,
the
you were
disgusting
thinking
one.
Simple Simon. Simple Simon.
Yeah, not Simple Simon. He can go die. Yeah, no, I'd send to Sapphire Suave and a letter to Celestial Tom.
So are you going to speak to Estevez?
Yeah. So I would tell Estevez what I'd want to arrange a
So you head over to the Black Talon.
Yeah.
Estevez is in the back office like he always is.
I would go to him and I would
The
assume-
Black Talon is a 3-level dance. Each level plays its own different music.
Oh, okay.
And each one has its own floor and roughly each level. So the building on the outside, 80 or 90 feet tall, and each floor is about 30 feet. So you actually walk in and there's a bit of a vaulted ceiling,
I have a giant 3-level
large
club.
rooms for like decorations. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a 3-level club. That's what the Black Tower.
There's a puke pit in the back that all the bathrooms connect into. We call it the puke chute. You have to be careful because you puke down the puke chute, but you stick your head in too far.
The fucking hole in the wall.
Yep. We call it the
What
puke
was
chute.
that?
We call it the puke chute.
There's some place that had that too. It's like it was a calorie bar, wasn't it?
Yep. That's what I'm stealing from.
Was it the season, I think it was.
Yep. The puke chute.
The red hole in the wall
Yep.
we put shit into.
Yep.
It was like everything from bodily fluids to items.
We call it the puke chute. So there's the giant puke chute that runs down the entire bar.
Hilarious. So you go into this bar. It's like this place clearly makes money. Everything is finely furnished.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the patrons, even if they look low class, are at least wearing their nicer clothes.
Damn right.
And even though like around noon, people are still dancing, eating, drinking. The flow in and out of this place is constant.
I'd probably.
It's only about 2.5 blocks away from the Black Baron, the Black Baron.
I'd probably fly over the crowd. Like I would just tap my heels and just casually
Fly over them.
just soar over them, so I'm not fighting my way through the crowd, waving at the staff, like the bartender, and be like, "How you doing?"
You probably get like laughs and like nods and like look at the fancy lad as you like float in over the bar. And then you kind of go through the staff hallway in the back into the back office. A 15 by 15 room, large, like all that's in this room is like a wall style filing cabinet, a single desk chair, and a large black, like 15-foot tall safe.
His name's
That covers
Estevez,
one
right?
Yes. And a
I'd walk
No.
in, put it.
sitting at the desk,
Perfect.
who's like too small for the chair, glasses almost too large for his face, falling off his nose, bent over like a large black ledger filling in.
I would totally walk over to his desk, put a gold on his desk, and be like, "Estevez, cigar, let's go."
What I'm thinking, he kind of reaches into a drawer, whips out this like big stogie, and just hands it to you. Grabs the coin off and slides it into the drawer.
Perfect.
And you see him write something, and then 1 gold.
Yep.
And he writes it into the book.
Of course.
And then he stops, reads what he wrote, erases it, and turns to look at you like, "Who are you to interrupt my work?"
Oh, it's Chuck.
And he like looks you up and down. "Wait, I recognize you. Your mom sent you over?"
Yeah. I'd look at him kind of confused. I assume she's already spoke to you about what's going on.
Sort of. I'm supposed to give you a rundown and tell you about the illegal back room.
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll start with business first. Then we'll get to pleasure. And I'll give him a wink for that.
Gives you this really weird look at that response.
We need to find a new supplier. And Mama's got a good idea to look up Celestial Tom out in Gracia and Suave Joe. And
Liquor, not slaves.
Suave Joe out in the Sapphire Isles, if you let me finish. Now, she's giving me a nice purse to go make a deal, but I don't think if we're going to make a long-term business with these people that we should just walk in all mamby-pamby-like. And I'd light the stogie at this point. So,
Okay.
what I need you to do, because you can do words and stuff and I can't do that thing, and I'd point towards writing, what I would like you to do is set up a formal meeting with me and these two people. I would come as a representative of the company. I don't want to bring, and I would whisper how much it is into his ear, all 5,000 platinum. And I'd say, I don't want to be carrying that. So what I want is I want a bill or I'd show him this thing. It's like, I want this notarized by you. So it's not legal till I sign on it, and whoever I do the deal with signs on it as legal tender. Now, I feel you can do that in your own time, and because you are good with numbers, that would be more fun for you. But that's... And I would look at him and say, any questions? Concerns?
Nice shrugs. Follow him so far.
Well, that's business now. Now it's pleasure. And I'd stand up and, like, slap the chair and be like, show me these stores.
So he, like, spins the chair around, hops off the stool, like, almost like a little child. And then kind of, like, hanging water comes past you, this tiny legs. Walks out in the hall behind the bar and into, like, the back room behind the bar. So you go into the room and it's just kegs. And you kind of, like, make your way through this, like, maze of kegs into the back corner, of which he pulls a hatch up from the floor, and then leads you there and then begins to climb down this hatch. Well, actually, I guess so. He pulls the hatch up, reaches behind a barrel, like the kegs, pulls out a lantern, lights the lantern, hangs it from, like, a hook just on the inside, like the inside.
Before he goes down, I'd be like, sir, if I may. And I would, like, hold out my hand.
And he hands you the lantern?
No. I'd look at the lantern and shake my head, and I'd put the lantern in the other hand and grab him, like, around his hip, click my heels, and then I'd slowly float down.
First, he's like, look, this is very,
I'd look at him and be like, no. What's unofficial is men like us walking. And I just slowly float down.
You see him stand a little taller in your arms, right? Like, you can feel him get a little more rigid.
Yeah.
Like, frown at that mention.
Yeah.
You float down the hole, and it's a dug-up chamber down here. It's literally so... It looks kind of like a prison tunnel, would be the best way to explain it. And then he points, he's like, that goes off for about 6 miles. East.
6 miles east? That's the harbor, isn't it?
He nods.
And I'd sit there and think for half a second and be like, oh, damn it, Mama, that's how. You wily cunt. And I look at him and be like, you never say that to my mama.
You see him do, like, the zipping lips motion.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
We've been running the railroad out of here for a while. We have a deal with a few captains. They have a specific dock, and he does the quotation marks in the air, right, with his fingers, that they land at.
Oh, you mean Doc 51? Don't worry, I know all about it.
And he looks at you oddly. He's like, no, it's Doc 37. What's a Doc 51? And he looks at you.
I'd look at him and be like, there are certain things, sir, that I'm not supposed to know and you're not supposed to know. And we just ended up trading ourselves something that neither of us are supposed to know. So how about we just continue?
Like, he understands where you see him look down the tunnel and then look at you knowingly and just kind of nod his head.
Yep. We both traded information we shouldn't have traded. So let's just pretend we didn't and keep going.
Well, if you're supposed to take us over, this is all supposed to be within your knowledge.
Oh, well then what's Doc 37?
And he just like looks at you and he's like, that's for the slave trade docks. It's an underground railroad.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes more sense.
And one ship from Sapphire Islands over here.
Really? I have a friend who might just be interested in a ship to the Sapphire Isles.
He shrugs. Tunnel goes both ways.
Always both ways.
And then he turns and like proceeds to climb up the ladder and go back up.
I'd follow him and probably say offhandedly, man, whew, thank God this ain't Doc 51. I don't think I have enough brain left to give him. Just under my breath, but loud enough you could hear it.
You get no response from the gnome that you can see. Except for maybe like the slight hesitation and then like this soft chuckle in the darkness.
In the darkness?
Yeah, of the gnome, because you're climbing up through the hatch, right? You're very like low light from a lantern.
There's no one else around us, eh?
No.
I would tell him to stop. I want to go see the ship.
You want to walk to the end of the tunnel?
It's 6 miles, so it's a bit of far.
He shrugs, so he reaches up, grabs the lantern from the top rung, climbs down the ladder again.
I got plenty of time.
Alright, so it's going to take you like a couple hours to walk through the tunnel. You, after a couple hours in the darkness, lit by like this low lit torch or lantern, I think Estevez goes on to tell you the club's been doing really well. Other than that, it's like, what is it? The Baron tithe has still been coming in. Or going out.
I would look at him and say, and ask, what kind of slaves have been coming in recently for my mom?
He shrugs. They're all free when they come through this tunnel, like Freedom Row right here.
Where are we importing them from? Gracia?
They come in from all over. He says mostly Platinum Isles, though. They're big on the slave trade down there. Pretty much anything a pirate can take from a ship. This is where all the escaped ones come, or if our captain gets a hold, where he brings them. And then they either pay us a nominal fee for passage to freedom, or they work for us indentured for a small time, usually 3 to 6 months.
I'd stop at that. I have a better idea. In fact, Estevez, my God, or my gator, my great gator, you gave me a fantastic idea. I'm assuming that our business is known far and wide for freedom of slaves.
No.
That's what I thought.
No. Gracia, or Iron Crossing still supports indentured servitude, still foremost.
I mean outside of Iron Crossing.
No. Otherwise, would be Captain Blackfist from Sapphire City might have something to say about that. He's not a leading figure in the slave trade. Also, in fact.
Mr. Blackface, you say?
Fist. They say he frozen in the north.
Captain
Just stayed.
Blackface.
Face.
Remember, my character's dumb. Well, Captain Blackface.
Yeah, he would pronounce it, though, by raising a fist, right? Showing you his head. When you were like, Blackface? No, Black Fist. And he would point his fist.
I'd be like, that's what I want to do. Put my fist in his face. How did you know?
After, like, enough of that, he probably just shrugged, like, fuck, whatever. It doesn't...
So if some of the guards are being paid off, no, I still have a great idea. A fantastic idea. Well, the sooner we get to the end of this hall, the sooner I need to go pay my mama a visit.
And as you're chatting, it's like the light from the tunnel starts to peer in near the end, right? Another 15, 20 minutes, you get to the end. You're blinded from, like, just the extreme brightness of, like, the 1:30 sun. But you are underneath the pier.
Perfect.
There is, like, a small, like, sandbar, basically. And then one of the main piers actually runs above you.
Perfect. I'd look at Estevez. I would bow to him and say, "Thank you for taking me this far. You please go back to the Black Talon, and you have your instructions. Please send the letters out to Celestial Tom and Suave and the Sapphire Isles to prepare for my return." I would tell him
Sapphire Suave.
Yeah, Sapphire Suave. And if they please let me know if they should return my letters, and let me know if they are ready to greet me. And also let me know when those papers are done. And until then, sir, adieu. And I would say that, and I would literally just backsplash into the water, because I can breathe water, and I would just swim under the water. And probably come up like, go like a mile, go like...
His little lantern disappeared in the light.
Yeah, I'd probably go like 4 or 5K underwater, and like for like 10 minutes, and then pop up on the beach just randomly, just like I just went for a swim, and then just walk straight back to the Black Baron.
Okay.
When I
now you know where the other end of the tunnel goes.
Mm-hmm.
You're right underneath Pier 37.
I figured.
Yeah. It's really not even that sneaky too, right? Like, so you have port side as the ship pulls up. Basically, all the passengers have to do is jump off starboard, and you would land in the water, and the water would only be like knee deep. So it looks like a lot of the slave trade, if like that's the way they're bringing it in, the boat would pull up, and then they would climb out of the windows of the lower decks or jump off the starboard side and then into the tunnels.
Okay.
And if you did it right, it would be like super low key too, right? If it wasn't just like 20 refugees jumping off the deck of a ship into the water, obviously that would be pretty noticeable, but
Yeah, okay. So it's like it's my own little secret Thieves Guild entrance. I got it. That's kind of neat. I'd go to the Black Baron. I just have a quick discussion with my mom. My first question, but I have a question for my mom. Has she ever wanted to be? Now I don't know, mother. We could never really be nobles. We could never be really be, and I'd put up close royalty.
She stops you right there. We are nobles of the upper middle class.
So, what would happen, Mama? Now, you're already bringing in lots of supporters into the city. Now there is a position, if I do remember, people's elected position called a governor, usually.
And you see her brow like furrow, and she gets this like very like Nike look on her face. You wouldn't want anything to do with politics. Those are all evil people. You should stay as far away from that as possible, son.
And I'd look at her and I'd just put my hands like this and be like, no, mama, I should never be in politics. Someone who should be in politics is someone who's strong, demands an audience, the people love, who gives everyone what they want, and is one of the most beautiful women in all the city.
And she immediately like furrows her brow, and you see her eyes narrow a little bit. She stares, and she's like, I have no interest. And she immediately like turns her back to you. Like, this is the coldest your mom's ever been to you. For some reason, and you have no idea where. Like, this time it was, what did I say?
All right.
And she like turns her back, and then she turns to look at you again. Never bring that up again. And like closes her office door on you.
Okay. I'd walk away and be like, oh, it could have gone worse. Well, with that idea out, I'm going to go to bed.
You crash out. Stellan and Ada were. I guess see what Harry's up to first. Grady's still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. What did you wish to do?
I'll be right back. I'm having a smoke.
You guys got berated by police basically all night after finding a murdered body. And then you went through a weird sewer trip, but it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning when you guys were finally done in the sewers. Did you wish to go home and go to bed?
Didn't we met up with Chuck? Or is that done in the sewers?
I was in the sewers, yeah.
We
Okay.
found Chuck in the sewers after he stumbled upon us.
And you found, the tomb of the Forgotten King.
Is that what that was?
Yes.
How do we find that out?
It was written in ancient Grecian.
Okay.
That was Edda found that.
All right. Kind of want to find out more about this lantern I've got.
I believe it was identified last time too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I identified all the items we got except for Zitties.
Yeah. That is called the Lantern of Revealing.
Yeah. What does it do?
So you gotta. It takes a pint of oil to light it, but that pint lasts for 6 hours of use. And as long as the lantern is lit, anything it casts its lights kind of gets revealed. For example, like invisible creatures or objects, or for example, say like magical invisible script.
Okay, cool.
Things that are generally hidden from the eye. The lantern may they be invisible or not. In some cases, yes, it might not even be an invisible thing, but it might.
And how do I light it?
It just takes a pint of oil.
Point of oil?
Pint of oil.
Pint. Okay. Cool. All right, I want to continue investigating these murders. Or did we figure that out yet?
We were all in kind of bad shape. After they tried to
Yeah.
rip the mirror off the wall, it poisoned us all and everything. So we
Yeah.
still were interested in the murders, but most people went to bed.
We
Or
needed a break before continuing,
not to bed.
pretty much.
Yeah, we all kind of decided to take a timeout on investigating and come back to it a little fresher, I think.
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
figured
Just
out
so for your
that most of the
knowledge,
murders came out.
a pint of oil costs 1 silver.
Comes what?
Costs 1 silver piece for a pint of oil.
Okay. Well, I think I should go buy a pint of oil too.
They come in small, like clay flasks, so you can buy multiples if you want. But they're silver a piece. Each little clay silver piece is basically one use of the lantern. But lantern lasts for 60. You can put the light out. Just
Okay, so
you'd probably be good with two flasks. So 2 silver.
yeah, so 2 pints.
So that's
Yeah.
12 hours of use.
And I can use the lantern and then put it out.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'll get 2.
Oil is really easy to find too. You can find it at any general store.
All right. Weird. So I have to go to the general store then.
There'd be tons of general stores. Kind of like corner stores, basically. Right? Similar sort of like the 7-Eleven of the past.
Right.
They would have everything from like new underwear to food items.
How much gold do I have now? God. You're Blathian was supposed to sell a ticket for me.
Yeah, he hasn't done that.
Never should have given him that ticket.
He hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He had to set up an auction first.
and he kind of failed at doing that so far.
Yeah.
It was days ago.
Actually, it was yesterday in game,
I guess so. Right?
if I'm not mistaken, anyways.
No, it would have been today.
No,
Yeah,
yes.
He would still be today.
We
No,
got
because
the
that's what he went to
tickets.
do when he left.
Yeah.
It was. He would still be today.
Oh, okay.
Probably as you're talking right now. So it sounds insane.
Okay.
I meant when we got the tickets.
How much did we start with? Because I don't have that recorded.
Each background and class start with different amounts and everything like that.
Yeah, so let's turn it back.
Yeah. What's your background again?
Wild magic sorcerer,
Uh,
human.
your background is like acolyte or a barbarian tribe member or something like that.
Gator.
Dresden has 32 gold right now that he's made from other investigations.
Cool. All right. I'm interested in buying leather armor.
Yeah?
Like better leather armor. I don't think I have leather armor.
You unfortunately cannot wear it. So true. You are not proficient.
Pardon?
You're not proficient in armor. Maybe it'll screw with you.
You sure I'm not proficient in armor?
Wild sorcerer, you have no.
So I'm a human wild magic sorcerer with a mark of finding.
Yeah, your armor proficiency comes from being sorcerer, and you have none.
Okay.
Most spellcasters don't wear armor. They'll have other things that you'll use instead.
I thought sorcerers at least had proficiency with light armor, but no.
No, they got nothing.
Bards have proficiency with light armor, but that's it.
Birds are also like a half.
That's true.
I feel like Eula did, but maybe that was because she was a rogue. Yeah.
Yeah, that was because you rolled. And even then, that would be only gotten that if you chose rogue as your first class. Because if you cross class into,
Yeah, I must have.
you won't get the efficiencies. Similar, that was the thing with the sorcerer, Sure, you have to take paladin first so you can wear heavy armor. Otherwise, you have to take a feat. Anyway, what would Dresden like to do?
Right now I'm trying to find like an item list.
Here, not much. Especially for 32 gold.
What kinds of things are on your mind, Grady? Like weapons and armor and stuff?
Well, honestly, I'm supposed to have an adventurer's or an explorer's pack, and I don't know what's in that.
Which one is it? Adventurers pack? Explorers pack?
Explorer's pack.
I will look it up and I will send it to you.
The explorer's pack
Ow!
is a map, mess kit, tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a water skin. Also, 50 feet of rope strapped to the ceiling.
The rope's the most important thing you can have.
All right, where do you find that?
I have the player's guide.
I
Yeah.
find it from Google.
Page
Where-
151 in the player's.
151. Cool.
You got the adventuring gear is right next to it on 152 and 49.
Oh, there we go. Jan got it.
Oh, nice.
151 to like 150. It's an explanation of everything on that list.
I'm thinking I just want to meet up back up with the group and
Everybody's passing out, so if you wanted to head home, go sleep, and then meet up with the group after.
oh, have I slept yet?
Yeah, no, you guys were up for all night.
Oh, I'm gonna sleep then.
So you head home. We take 2 parts. And then several hours pass. 2 people go to the estate. 1 wanders through the sewer for a couple hours. And then Stellan shows up at the Black Baron with Aiden first. Probably about 4:30.
How long were they gone for?
All day.
All day. You guys
I
haven't
would-
seen them since you guys split up at like 10 a.m.
I would wake up before they got back then. Because I'm only meditating for 4 hours.
You'd be after your meditation happens. So it's a trance technically, right? They would show up just after your just.
Oh, okay.
You'd probably be eating.
While we were sitting at the DMV, can I identify the cloak? Does it have anything special about it?
So you ritual cast identify, and you get the weirdest response from identify ever. Normally, like identify, like you would cast it on the item, and then you get a series of like arcane runes, kind of like inscribing what the item generally does, right? So you can figure it out. But this one flashes for a second, and then you wait, and there's no response.
What color does it flash?
Just like a quick flash of light, like white light.
Okay. And I get nothing.
And you get nothing. Because even a commoner should just come up as common in arcane runes.
Yeah.
But this, nothing. You get no rune response whatsoever.
Has that ever happened before?
You've never seen that happen before. Right? Even a wooden fork should say wooden fork.
Yeah. I assume it lit up the DMV for a second there, and now eyes are on us.
So you were ritual casting a spell, and I'm sure probably a couple people looked at you, but then realized what you cast it. It's not an illegal spell. So nobody really stopped you.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
so
the
that's-
spell flashes and goes off, right? I mean, most people are probably absorbed in their own or trying to pass time. So your flash of light is suddenly everybody's like not so bored, staring at you for a second, maybe expecting another one.
So the
That's
overall vibe is just bored for everyone.
Generally, yeah.
Okay.
People sitting around waiting for their numbers to be called for whatever they're doing. Everything from deeds of estate to ownership of boats and ships to the sale of goods, and in some cases even like lawsuits and stuff. Suing somebody because they didn't keep up with contract preservation.
What are those beings from the plane of order? What are they called again?
Methods.
Modrons.
The big robots.
Modrons. Yeah, Modrons.
I feel like there'd be Modrons just sitting at desks.
You know, the workers here probably wish there were Modrons as
It'd be
because even they're sitting in their desks like, fuck, I don't want to. Nobody wants to be here. Stamping and filling paper, having to deal with people.
I've heard of this religion.
And yeah, just chatting with Edo while we wait.
I tell him all about how I stood there and played dumb very effectively.
Very effective.
Doesn't matter if they didn't believe
Ada
me.
used lack of intelligence. It was super effective.
Super effective.
It's so good.
That would get a chuckle.
So yeah, the two of you show up with a black bear, and Zinni's probably chilling at a table eating by himself. I mean, it's like 2:00, and the patrons in here you probably don't want to sit next to.
We show up, and Thelon's just wearing this large black feathery cloak now that he didn't have a couple hours ago. Is that how I see it, or is that how this happens?
Yeah. And your clothes are all changed to this like black and gold embroidery. Felon looks fancy to do. Somebody probably offers even to take your kit, but you realize it's sarcastic and get the expense.
And it's nice and warm. How did it affect my sitting while I was at the DMV?
It was comfortable, better than the stone slabs that they were sitting on.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep my cloak.
All right, so Zinni's eating breakfast, and Felon walks in wearing this brand new, fancy, black feathered cloak with like mithril silver epaulets on his shoulders.
I'd look at him and be like, so first you get a fancy violin, then you get a fancy cloak, and then you get fancy clothes. I don't get it. Is it you just think that we look like dirt? Or... And I'd like look at my clothes and be like, well, you're just trying to make a fella feel bad.
Statement. He is only trying to be as shiny as I am.
I'm not wrong.
Oh, Lord.
That shiny.
I would
Oh.
just shrug and keep eating.
Oh, great gator. You shiny. I think
As he says that, prestidigitation on Edda to make him even shinier than he already is. Just to clean him up a bit.
I'd look at them and be like, careful, his ego's already big enough.
Whoa, he's not that bad.
Correction. I am a Warforged. We cannot have a big ego.
It
I
looks
said-
at his crotch.
No, but you definitely have a big head now, don't you?
My head is the same size it was before.
So, long story short, I at least have a house.
So you don't have your deed at the moment right now either.
Yeah.
You have a certification of nobility that they handed you.
So I'm now a lord.
No, you need to get 2 other lords as
200?
references.
200 what, sorry?
2 other lords. You need 2 lords, notable lords, to sign your papers of nobility.
Oh, okay.
But they're working your deed through the system.
Did they need like a sample of my blood or anything to figure this out?
Yeah, that was all taken down there.
Oh, okay.
So originally there was this huge outrage because like the Raventree family has basically been all but decimated and wiped out. They disappeared to some bandit uprising 13 years ago. And then there was
A bandit uprising? Are you Batman? Should you make your character Batman?
that's actually funny.
That was not the intention.
And then
You
he
sound
fell
like Batman
he fell
right
into
now.
a hole full of ravens that scared him. And
Actually, it was a basement.
So it would have been Archmage Moro. Would have been the one who took your blood.
Same guy we met before.
No, this is the diviner and abjuration. Diviner and illusion.
Archmage what, sorry?
Moro.
Like tomorrow?
Yes, like tomorrow.
I'd look at him and be like, well, you got a house, and I technically have to have a bar, but first I have to go meet a couple people. One's over in Gracia, and the other one's over in the Sapphire Isles. I don't suppose y'all want to come.
I mean, we're flying over there anyways. Might as well, right?
I've got a couple things I want to take care of here.
Well,
Anyone know a good place to sell a great big gem where the person won't ask too many questions?
I'd look at her and like furrow my brow and just kind of like look at the barkeep and just look at her. Be like, barkeep, you heard her. Please.
So Samantha kind of comes over. What did you need?
Help Zini. She has some exotic wares.
She looks at you funny. Exotic wares. She looks back over at Zinni. What illegally are you selling?
Nothing illegal. I'm looking for, I don't know, someone who deals in gems, maybe? Who just won't be super suspicious about where I got it, because it's kind of a weird explanation.
She shrugs. What you got?
A ruby?
Pull it out. Let's see.
I do.
She goes behind the counter, and she grabs this weird, like, it almost looks like a ice grip, but it's way too thin,
It looks like a what?
like a vice grip.
Oh, okay.
But it's way too thin metal. And closer look at it, it looks like the metal looks more like rulers, like a series of 3 rulers strapped in a vice grip position. And she lays it down on the table, puts the ruby next to it, and then the middle tooth on the vice grip kind of moves up and down, and she matches it to the ruby, kind of pulls out a number from the end of the measuring tool and walks behind the counter. And then she puts it back down. That's worth about 100 gold, dear. She drops this change purse on the table.
Okay. That was easier than I expected.
Traveling with gems is a normal thing. People will take gems because it's lighter than money.
Sorry, say that again?
People will trade or like travelers often pay for things like in Oblivion or in Skyrim. They'll pay for things with gems because gems are lighter to carry than money is.
That makes sense.
A 100 gold ruby doesn't jingle as I walk down the ship from one end to another, right?
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so gems are regularly traded at. Come on. And she would
Perfect.
probably laugh when Chuck was mentioning this example. And then she just take the ruby and take behind the counter, points it down.
I'd look at her and be like, no one cares where you got something as long as you didn't steal it.
And I think Samantha yells over her shoulder as she's walking away, and she shrugs. Most don't care even then. As long as
Well, it hasn't always been
show
my
up, right?
experience.
If you're trying to sell a gem,
Now, I'm not trying to make fun.
Suddenly you're in trouble.
I'm not trying to poke fun. I'm just saying.
I mean, Zinni also wouldn't maybe even know that she's from a small,
Yeah.
especially being kind of isolated from a small town too, right? So like you're hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
Is there any other
Just going to
business
the
you
gym.
have?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, well, you deal with that, and then I think that Zeppelin ride's coming up soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in 3 days, I believe.
Yeah, it is Saturday.
Yeah, and
The
it leaves
Zeppelin
on
ride is
Tuesday.
on Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday night at 6:00.
I'm going to go stand by the door and take my long rest.
Okay.
By the door to come in and out.
When you take your long rest, do you just power down?
No, I just stand there with my eyes open and glowing.
I think it's maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes before somebody throws their coat over you.
I was gonna say I would do it pretty much right away. I'd probably go over. If I knew him as a friend, I'd probably reach
up and down for a second.
I'd reach
And
behind
then
the
pulls his
bar.
coat off and then like hangs it on his like shoulder.
I'd probably reach behind the bar and pull out like a pair of like a sleeping cap that says Edenine on it, and just like put it over his eyes and be like, God damn it.
So creepy.
This metal man standing in the corner after like a couple of hours, he's got like 4 coats and this fucking sleeping cat.
How many coats are on me when I wake up?
Only 4.
Is there any money in any of the pockets?
No, they're all empty.
But hey, you get four.
You forgot the kind of
four
establishment
coats.
you're in.
Do any of the coats look fancy?
One of them definitely does. One's
Okay.
like two of them are probably really cheap capes.
I'll
And then
hang
one's
those.
kind of okay.
I'll hang the cheap ones on the wall and just tuck the expensive one under my arm, like roll it up and tuck it under my arm and just walk off.
As Ed and I was going to bed, I would actually leave and go down to the docks and look for any ships from the Platinum Isles that have come in since the last time I checked yesterday. Day and a half ago.
I'd follow her.
Follow me
I
as
would
in I
go to
know
bed.
you're there, or follow me as in I don't know you're there?
I'd probably watch you leave, and after about 5 seconds, I'd be like, I'd probably just not even think about it and just start walking. Follow you. Maybe if you did like look back and saw me, then I'd probably catch up. But I'd probably just like casually just pace behind you.
What does Selen do at this point? You go to bed?
Yeah, Thelon goes to bed.
Okay, Selen's going to bed.
Takes his 4-hour
Meanwhile,
rest.
Chuck chases off down the road after Zinni. Alright, so Zinni heads on down to the dock. Chuck has no problem following.
As soon as you get to the dock,
I mean,
I'd
the
come up.
streets are packed, but they're so wide. It's really not that hard.
As soon as you definitely get to the dock, I'd probably catch up beside you and be like, "What you doing down here?"
What are you doing? Why did you follow me?
I don't know. Felt like following. Seemed like
I
the
just
right
give
thing.
you a funny look.
I'd shrug at that and be like, sometimes the Great Gator tells me to do stuff, and I just follow his lead. But I'd look at him back, don't think I'm crazy. I don't hear no voices. I've heard
Thank
about.
you for the clarification, John.
I've heard
So you
about.
guys show up at the docks, and they're busy. There are ships unloading over the place. There are people hauling crates.
After a little bit, if it was a lot of people, I'd probably look at Zinni and be like, "This is a little crowded. I know a more private area. Do you swim?"
I'm looking for someone. I'm looking for ships from the Platinum Isles.
Chuck knows
And-
that. Chuck knows that they dock at usually piers 30 through 40.
Mm-hmm. I'd look at her and just give her a big eyebrow and be like,
That would have been actually something that was run down to you. So there are docking stations for like ship zones, right?
I would.
So 30 through 40 is Sapphire.
Yep. I'd be like, come with me, and
10 through 30 is Gracia.
I'd kind of raise my eyebrows and be like, I still haven't gotten an answer. Do you swim?
It's a good question. Yes.
So Zinni remembers Dock 37, by the way. That's how Zinni came in the city.
Oh.
Let me show you, if you care to trust me a little, let me show you, I'll take you to where you need to go. And I would just kind of look around until no one's looking, and then I'd just run and dive into the ocean.
But you don't know where I'm going.
You said you're looking for the platinum ships. So I do know where you're
Yes.
going.
Okay,
So I
fine.
said, if you trust me.
He intrigues me enough that I follow him.
Once underwater, I pretty much, because I can swim really good, being a warlock, underwater warlock, I would grab you and just kind of take you with me. And we'd come up underneath to the entrance to Docks 37. And I would say as we come up and be like, sorry about getting you wet. Docks 30 to 40 are what you're looking for. This is my dock. And
What do you mean it's your dock?
We'd be under the
Yeah, Zinni
pier.
remembers coming through here.
We'd be under the pier and there'd be a tunnel. And I'd be like, well, this is above us is Dock 37. Now we could go up and join the rest of the people around here, but I'd look out into the ocean and be like, but we can definitely see the ships that are coming in from here.
What makes this your dock?
Well, well,
There's like this small sand, the stone pier work, and in the stone pier work, there's like three like large, like 4x4 foot stone bricks that have been pulled out of the wall, and there's this clear and obvious tunnel.
I would look at her and be like,
Zinni has been down before, right? Like,
Yeah.
I would look at her and be like, my mother and I, well, mostly my mother, I can't take credit for nothing, runs the freedom train for all the slaves into Iron. Now, something tells me, I'm not going to ask because that's none of my business, but I have a feeling you seem to know me, but I don't remember you too well, and this seems to happen a lot, because a lot of people go through these gates.
yeah, it would make a lot more sense to Chuck now why he's seen so many random people,
Yeah.
and a lot of them wearing clothes that weren't necessarily from this city.
Mm-hmm. And I would look at her and say, now, if you're looking for someone, you'd probably want someone who works on the docks. Rather than coming down here, you're lonesome looking through all these people trying to find one person or two or three.
Are you going to tell her about Eddie the porter?
I'm going, yeah, I will, eventually. But
Yeah, the person I'm looking for works on one of the ships.
I would then tell her about Eddie the Porter.
Eddie the porter he's the head of dockyard portering, basically, right? Like the transport of goods back and forth. And he's the man that is paid to make sure the right people look the wrong way, if you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
I also have...
He would also be the one to talk to about when ships are coming in and if ships have gone out.
I've also made a friend in... what's his name? I have it here. Johann Black, who also has a ship of Maiden, who I'm supposed to go see today, in fact. Now, since we're down here already, I was thinking we go take a spin and go see my friend Johann. But I think if you're looking for someone, I would just kind of look and be like, put a little more faith in Chuck. And I would just kind of walk down underneath the pier and the beach towards... Johann is a sapphire ship, so he'd probably be somewhere. So I'd be looking for a ship that is called, if I remember correctly, I just had it. I'd be looking for a ship called the Sweet Maiden.
So you're going to talk to Eddie? Or are you just going to start walking up?
I'm going to start walking because I want... This is... You know, I want Zinni to trust me, and so I'm not just gonna. But she knows the name, so she can go do it herself. But I would look back. You know what? I would look back and say, we can go talk to Eddie together. But first, let's go meet my friend Johann.
Sure.
Perfect. I would look.
Do you know where to find Eddie?
Oh, he's always at the ship port log. Main building.
Yeah, exactly.
Center of the port.
Exactly. Ship port one. Yeah.
We'll go right.
Yeah, he stands in front of the big book.
Yeah, we'll get him in
And
Tuesday.
you have to report to him everything that's coming in.
I can find him in no problem. Don't worry about him. Or don't worry about me finding him.
Okay.
No, in
I
reality,
think they'd probably call that the dockside welcome.
as I'm walking beside, I'd be like, also, it's kind of fortuitous you're here. I think nothing's better than meeting a ship full of possibly pirates than with a good-looking maiden. Especially one with a
Right.
especially one who's probably thinks better than I do. So I do all the
That
talking.
has potential.
So I do all the talking, you do all the listening, and do all the thinking and all the deciding. Now I'd look at,
If you're doing all the talking, how do I do the deciding?
oh, I don't make decisions. Trust me, my mama taught me well.
You sure did.
And all the women do the decision making.
Exactly.
That's what his mama did.
as we were walking, I'd kind of like muse something over for a second, then I'd say, you know, Chuck, I kind of wonder. You really love your mama, right?
Yeah? Why wouldn't I?
I don't know, it just seems like she doesn't always like you.
Well, that's because I'm a bastard. And also sometimes a bit hard to deal with.
I don't know, man. She seems pretty awful to you sometimes.
Dah. She gets stressed from business. When you run as much as she does, I understand. That's why I get away from the city sometimes.
It's alright.
Plus, if she was really that mean, I'd be mean, wouldn't I? Isn't that right, Natasha? And I'd pull up my rock. Be like, Natasha says I ain't mean. I'd put it back in my...
Well, not everyone turns out like the people who raised them.
You'd be like, I guess so. Some of them do, though. And I'd laugh. Ramrod.
You know, Chuck, when you were in that mirror thing, you heard voices, right?
Yeah, I did.
Can I ask who you heard?
Oh, it was my mom.
So it wasn't someone who's dead.
No.
It felt like a graveyard down there, and I heard my mom.
I'd stop
I
at
don't
that.
know.
We're under the pier, right?
Yeah.
I'd look
Yeah,
at...
unless you guys chose to leave.
I'd look... No, we're still under the pier. I'd look at her and be like, can I trust you with something?
Yeah?
No, I mean really. No one else gets to know about this.
Okay.
I burn my warlock power and I turn into my undead form.
Okay.
So I basically turn into like this giant undead swamp thing. And I would
It's
just
like
kind of
horrifying.
sit. Yeah, it's absolutely horrifying. You actually have to make a wisdom save. It's only 12.
That's the ability is called horrifying. Sorry.
I'm actually might not need to.
Oh, okay.
Or I get advantage on it, one of the two.
All right. It's only 12.
Advantage.
I'm level 3.
Yeah, we're good.
As I turn to this giant horrifying undead swamp thing. And I'd be like, in like a gargle voice, be like, now we have to wait. And I'd just sit down.
How long do we have to wait?
About an hour.
Couldn't you have just said this out loud instead of turning into this thing?
I'd be like kind of taller than you and be like, kind of had to show you.
Not really. There's other ways to get the message across.
I just kind of lay down in the sand. Be like,
So is your mom one of these too?
nope. This is a gift from the Great Gator.
Hello. Okay, so you're dead.
Technically, not.
But your mom isn't.
No.
She's just normal, alive, regular.
No, this is a blessing from the Great Gator.
Okay, so this still doesn't answer my question, though.
Oh, I'm technically dead. But technically
no, not you. The voices you heard were the people they were coming from dead.
Well, what I was trying to say is I wouldn't know.
I guess. But you heard your mom's voice, and she's not this. She's just alive.
I look at you and kind of look around confused and be like, I can't answer that honestly.
What do you mean? You don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, no, I'm just confused.
Welcome to the Laugh of Chuck. Probably start building like sandcastles with my giant monstrous hands. I don't think it lasts an hour, actually. I think it only lasts 10 minutes. Yeah, only 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, I would just start like growing down back to my normal size. They're like, oh,
I'm pretty sure it's only a minute.
is it only a
Yeah, I
minute?
sent it. Yeah, I sent in the group chat.
Ah, yes, I read that wrong. So it's only a minute. So after a minute, I'd be back. You're like, all
I
right.
don't think you grow in size either. I think you're the same size.
I just grow monstrous or something. No, I become frightening. Anyway,
You look spooky. Yeah. You have like almost like
You don't
spirit
taste spooky.
trailing tendrils that kind of smoke off of your body, right? That would make you look larger than you are.
I feel for Chuck it would be more like scaly and
yeah, that's what I
Almost-
figured.
Probably.
It'd be like
almost
scaly and like.
vines.
It would be like it's scaly, and instead of like the tendrils, it would almost look like the air around him is warm, like when you're looking over.
Or
you.
musky. Everything would get like really, really humid and musky, like a
Like
swamp.
if you were from Florida,
Yeah,
just Florida weather.
but yeah, after it's done, I'd be like, all right, well, let's go. Point is,
Okay.
I would explain to her that the Great Gator believes in life and death. That's why I am alive. I believe in life. I can heal, and I'd like make like a plant grow, but only like natural things. I don't.
I'm just like, did you die or something?
Technically, I drowned.
That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're okay.
Me too. Thank the Great Gator.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Why do you think I spend so much time in the forest? Wrestling owlbears.
I just thought you liked it. I like the forest.
I do. I do like the forest. I look up at it. I hate the city. That's why I drink.
Yeah. Fair enough. The city's kind of gross.
As we're walking like underneath the pier on the sand. I would be looking for the maiden ship though. The sweet maiden. Would I see this ship lured in the bay?
So you guys are at Pier 37. Come out. There's like one of those like rungs kind of built into this dome wall. So you come up about Pier 35. It's on either side of Pier 35, which would be about 5 piers down, just in case somebody falls in. But you climb out of the water around Pier 35, and from 40 to 30, the sails are a myriad of like rainbow colors. Sapphire, platinum isles really like their colors. Sapphire cities be like these deep blues. Cairn Islands, like they're like greens, like deep forest greens, or almost like neon reds.
I'd probably be looking at my skin and like the colors and be like, mine's prettier, mine's prettier, mine's prettier, and it'd be like, mine's that's way better than my skin. Mine's prettier, mine's
And
prettier.
the one that would really catch your eye is this. It's the sails are like a burgundy, like a rusty burgundy, with a very like deep violet purple sigil. And the sigil is, it just looks like just a flat land, basically. So it looks just as like platinum, like land, and then, purple, this purple violet, it's like a straight line with like the purple sun. It looks like it's just beating you. It's
As we're getting closer to that ship, because I would assume, looking at that ship, is that the Sweet Maiden? I would look for the.
no, it's not.
Oh, good.
But
Then,
it's one that draws your eye.
as I look at that ship, I'd lean over to Zinni and say, "Now, I'm not a sailor myself, but I have heard many sailors say a couple things. One of the things they always say is, beware red sails, because it's just to cover the blood. As I'm looking at this ship as we're walking by.
And the crew of this ship, they're like the most interesting version of an elf you've ever seen. But you mistake them for something else. Like they couldn't have been elves. They're too big, too hard. But the very tapered ears is a giveaway. They're some kind of offshoot. They stand about 7 feet, and they are very barrel-chested, thick-armed. Most of them are doing the job of 2 men by themselves. Like they are mountains of elves. Most of them shirtless, covered in tattoos. It's something from Zinni's past. She grew up in the Platinum Isles when she was younger. There was a clan of desert they were exiled like time ago, and they formed their own clan called themselves the Rusted. But this ship is an entire crew of these rusted elves. This is probably the first time you've ever actually seen one.
After seeing these guys, I'd probably look around for the dockmaster of this area.
I would just kind of look at them and be like, huh, interesting.
Just an interesting thing. A new breed of elf. They were not so much exiled. So in timeline, it's 922 MF. MF stands for meteor fall. And that's when Platinum Isles were basically created, splitting the Ashwood Forest off from a region, which is the Chaos Wastes. So this is a race of elves that were like broken off from their home and forced to live in like very, very harsh climes. And after years, they've slowly changed, right? They're much hardier, a bit more stronger, and they're very suffering. They're very skinned, almost to the point of being like slightly reddish.
Slightly what?
Reddish.
Okay.
Kind of like the hint to their names, the Rusted Elves. But something you notice, and everything about their ship is even a little too. Most doors are built for 6 foot tall people, right, or 7 foot tall people.
It's massive.
This one's built. This ship is just a little bit bigger, just a little bit. Everything. But something you guys know, like, well, okay, that's really quick.
That's cool. You don't see that every day.
And then the next set of series of ships, the most plain you've ever seen. Every single sail is white with a red cross for the next 20 piers of ships.
I would look for the harbor master of this area.
So they're the sub-porters or whatever that kind of ship make sure everything's all collected. You'd be easily able to find like the size of their ledgers, right?
I'd pull out a couple silver and be like, I'm looking for a sweet maiden.
He looks at you and he's like, coming in from...
where we were last. Iron Crossing.
Oh, local. And he points down at the end. First 10 ducks.
Perfect. I'd look over to Zinni and be like, we gotta go over to the other side. We'll stop by Eddie on the way and talk to him about your manifest. Get that done.
Sure. Sounds like a good idea. More efficient that way.
It would be... So yeah, right at Pier 20 is the major road line to the walk. the major road all the way around the city. And the welcome office is just sitting right on the corner. It's basically like a general office, but Eddie the porter also hangs too.
I'd look at her and say, it'd probably be better if I went in alone, but I ain't good with remembering stuff. So
And
I'd
it's a
head.
general store, so she could go in like her
Oh.
store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's a basic general store where sailors can also come and grab shit for their ships before they leave. Like the basics. So they'd have like food and like, toilet paper.
So yeah.
You know, basic shit, like a road, like a
Okay.
truck stop, basically, right?
Perfect.
But for boats.
So I'd go in and look for Eddie, I guess.
He's sitting behind the desk, probably cracking jokes with some of the guys sitting around the front desk buying some shit before they're heading out. Probably like 5 or 6 sailors with like an armful of shit, dropping a big pouch of coin. They're cracking some lewd jokes.
I wouldn't interrupt. I'd wait a couple moments until he was by himself.
So they talk for probably a good minute or two. He wishes them says Godspeed. And then they all leave. And you know, some are wearing very, very plain clothes. And he mentions Godspeed to Grisha.
Mm.
They all kind of bow very, like, gratefully, kind of head out.
I'd go up to him and be like, "Hey, Eddie, how you doing, bud?"
He nods. Chuck, what brings you this far?
I'm gonna pull a favor. I have a friend here, and I'd look behind me at Zena. She's Zinni. She's lost some dear family members to her. And
Just for one family member, really, but
I'll let you take over.
You think it's been through your way or my way?
Your way. That's why we're here.
He nods. What's the name?
Torash?
Got a last?
No.
Okay, alright.
Sorry?
You have any expected time through?
No, I don't know. He's been working on one of the ships from the Platinum Islands, and I was wondering if there'd been any coming in lately.
I'd look at her and be like, I understand. And I'd look back at Eddie, and I'd slide him 10 gold and be like, it seems this is all the poor girl knows, which is going to be a little harder for us. But she's been a dear friend, and I'd be more than willing to pay you if you put in a little effort to help her find her,
Brother.
brother.
Brother, you say. He looks at the money and he looks back at you. I get around that a couple days.
I'd put a platinum on the table and slide it over and be like, thanks for helping, Eddie. That's just for you.
Beside the platinum, he looks over. Pass me the book. And he, like, hands him this book. He, like, thumbs it through. I got 2 coming through Sapphire in the last couple months. One is a Captain Stokes. The other is a Captain Lefty. Yeah, Lefty.
Do we
I
have
don't suppose I would recognize either of those names as someone whose ship I had been on.
Stokes is the ship that took you around.
Oh. It could be Stokes.
Stokes?
Yeah.
Stokes was here 2 days ago.
2 days.
Shouldn't be back again for another month.
Do you know where he went? And I'd slide one more platinum over.
Says Sapphire.
Eddie, I owe you a beer. I'd look at Zinni and be like,
He shrugs, take the money off the counter, business is business. And we got a good arrangement, Chuck.
I'd smile and be like, you know me, I don't go back on my word.
He nods, and that's why I keep sending my boys your way.
Now, Zinni, is there anything else you'd like to ask this nice man?
Is there any way I could leave a message for him in case he comes back? Just a note?
Oh, you can do that legally. I'll meet you outside.
Briggs,
And I'd walk
take a
away.
note. And this guy, he's like very frail looking old man with massive glasses that are super thick, making his eyes look huge. Pulls out this note, like peeks over the counter. Ma'am, what note would you like to leave?
Torash, I miss you. Find me.
He
Zinni.
pens a little bit, and like looks at you, and pens a little bit. That's it?
I don't really have anywhere to tell him to find me, so yeah, I guess so.
Except the Black Baron, where we've been like every day.
Yeah, but who says that we're gonna continue to be there? Maybe, yeah, I'll add, like, I've been staying at the Black Bear and try there.
He writes it in, folds up the note, and hands it to Andy, and then it just kind of disappears behind the counter somewhere.
Thank you.
Eddie nods.
Alright. And yeah, I'll go outside and join Chuck.
I'd look at you and smile and be like, all right, off to Pier 10?
Yeah. And Chuck, thank you.
Like, don't sweat it.
I mean, that was a lot of money you just gave him, so...
I'd look at her and smile and be like, sure was, wasn't it? And I just kind of just not even care and just keep walking.
So you guys head on to Pier 10.
You will see.
Pier 10 to 1 is like ships. So there's like one big like galley here, and everything else is like small fishing. Galley is obvious, sitting like right in the middle of everything. It's got these like small fishing trawlers.
I'm gonna like look at
down.
Zinni as we're going up and be like, so we're looking for a pirate ship with pirates. And I'd look at all the
Yeah.
days and I'd be like,
They're trawlers, right?
like I'd actually be looking at her and be like, which one do you think it is?
Is there anyone that stands out that looks like a pirate ship?
I'd look at her and be like,
there are 10 piers in front of you, okay? Or I should say, it's like 5 docks,
yeah.
and on each side a ship compartment. It's big enough for like a large ship to. So there's a good like 50 or 60 feet at least between some of these gaps, right? For some of these bigger ships.
I got an idea.
And it goes 4 of these plain white looking fishing trawlers. There's a gap, and then there's this big looking galleon, 2-masted ship with white sails with 2 iron swords crossing as their sailors. And then on the other side of them are like 3 more of these plain white ships with, they look like dock workers just crowded all over them. And then the galleon, they have like linen shirts. Some of them are like 2 buttons. Most of them are open shirted. They're covered in tattoos. Most of them are shouting back and forth at each other, mostly lewd comments.
Well,
And there's only like 3 or 4 of them actually working on the ship. moving shit around.
Here's how I would look at Zinni and be like, don't worry, I'm gonna do something I love to do. Ready for this? And I just kind of step a couple steps away from her and just like shake off my tank top and be like, I scream as loud as I can. My name is Chandler's Herman Eugene Charles Kronk, and I am a representative of the Blackbriar Special Inn. And the first 20 people to come shake my hand get a free night. And I just hold up my hand.
I just stare at you like, what purpose does that serve?
Just wait. This is always the fun part.
So the dock workers immediately like start to place fishermen, right? They're wearing like coveralls, like these huge like fishing style waders coveralls, and like raincoats, even though it's like hot as hell. Start rushing your way, and the next thing you hear cut across the shouting of these sailors and the fishermen is unless you got whores or whiskey, you are a lying sack of shit.
I would tap my heels and flap and be like, my friend, why else would I be here if I didn't?
And some of the sailor boys are like shouting back and forth, but it's the captain standing at the prow of the ship. Proud as fuck with a big shitty man.
Do I recognize this person?
You've seen him before, but you recognize his first mate standing next to him. Like patting him on the shoulder and like saying something to him, like with the back of his hand, like banging the shoulder.
I'd be like, I would then say, because I'd recognize the first man and be like, but I only extend this offer because I have befriended a friend of the captain of the Sweet Maiden, whom I was told to also extend a free night at the Blackbriar Inn.
And
I'd fly over to him.
And he like looks at his boys and he's like, that's how you treat him, man. And he like turns and looks at you.
I'd fly over and I'd be floating in front of him, be like, now you wouldn't be such a person now, would you?
And your buddy looks over at him. He's like, I told you could get more. And he shouts, and he looks at you, and he's like, so here, it's your ma that owns the place?
I'd be like, of course. I am just a representative. And I'd hold out my hand.
He shakes your hand.
And I'd look at the crew and be like, that's one.
And he turns and he looks to the rest of the boys. He's probably only got 15.
I was hoping.
And they all come one by one, shake your hand. And your buddy introduces you, says like you're from the Blackbriar. Immediately they get these shitty grins once they say where you're from.
I'd look down and be like, I have a friend down on the dock. Do you mind if she comes on the ship?
He nods.
I'd fly down and be like floating above Ziddy and hold out my hand.
What do you want me to do with that?
Grab my hand.
Are you gonna fly me up?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly you up there.
How?
I'm flying.
Yeah, but you can just carry me too.
I think it doesn't say, I think I'm allowed to carry my strength, right?
What if my arm like rips off?
I'd look around and be like, then we'll get you a new one?
I don't want a new one.
Suit yourself. I'd fly back up.
It doesn't say there's a weight with it.
I didn't. I think it's your carry limit, how much you can carry.
Yeah, it would be your carry limit.
So I could have
Whatever
technically
you
flown
carry.
you up there, but suit yourself.
I yell back at you, wait, Chuck, come back.
I'd have a bit of a shit-eating grin. Be like, hold up my hand again.
Okay. I would grab your hand, but then I would grab your hand with one hand and then like grab up your arm and like climb you, and then like grab.
I probably wouldn't be phased by it, and I'd probably just fly you up and sit you down. That was fun.
Sure, fun. We'll go with that.
Now, before I send you boys off to have a great time at my mine and my mother's establishment, there is a couple things I wish to discuss with you. And I would look at the captain in particular. I believe this is more of a you and I discussion. I'll bring my advisor with me as well.
Yes, advisor. That's me.
Looking at the captain.
He nods. He's like, I mean, he looks at the boys. You guys are on leave. They all turn to like basically leave the ship. Just you and the first mate, and, like 2 guys.
Once everyone's pretty much cleared out, I'd look at him and I'd look at the first mate and I'd be like, I'd kind of smile at Zinni a little. Maybe whisper under my breath, just go along with it. You see, now, your first mate here thinks that it was a fortuitous event for him to run into me and my advisors and my escorts at the Iron Crossing. But the truth is, this town is running hard times. Since the fire in White Orchard, we've been at a loss at bringing in exports, per se.
Captain nods.
Now,
I think I kind of know where you're going with this, but continue.
we are currently, well, I have been currently tasked with securing new ports of interest. However, with ports of interest, obviously, comes the moving of said commodities. And I'd raise my eyebrows.
Okay, and he nods.
And
Your buddy's got a shitty grin this whole time. Sitting in the chair or standing right behind the captain.
And so I feel a man of such a stature as yourself might be looking for a lucrative opportunity. As we are also looking for a lucrative opportunity. Perhaps something mutually beneficial.
Trading or piracy?
No, sir. Just the legal...
He just kind of nods, just trading there.
Just trading. And I would kind of just have a huge shit-eating grin.
And he smiles. Do you have a source?
Now...
You got a pickup, and I assume drop-off is here?
Exactly. Now, that's where this is getting... Like I said at the beginning of this conversation, I am off to go nail down our source. I have 2 possible points of interest. But I know, if as sure as you do, because you are a smart and intelligent fellow, that any supplier would want to know that I already had the means of transport at the ready. And I would look at him and be like, do I have the means of transport at the ready?
If you have a suitable source of income.
I'd have even the huger shit-eating grin. And be like...
You show me the coin and I'll show you it. And he kind of smiles and he's like, looks at his first mate and he's like, it would be nice to go straight for a little while.
I'd look at him and say, how much coin?
How much product? Factor in and distance.
I would
Where
look.
is he traveling?
I'd look around, and because it's an empty ship now, except for like me, Zinni, and these 4 other guys, I'd be like,
Just these 2 now.
Yeah.
You're in the captain's chamber, sit behind his desk.
I'd look at him and be like, all your boys went to the Black Bear. Meet me at the Black Talon. And I'd be like, bring your first mate too. Say round 11. We'll talk numbers then.
PC notes. Alright.
Also, and I turn as I'm about to leave with Zinni, there's always a finder's fee if you can find more people under your fleet, Commodore. And I'd leave with that.
Nice Jack Sparrow there.
It wasn't a jerk.
You know, Chuck ain't that smart, but he's good at business.
Once
said
we
you
get
weren't
far
too
enough
smart at
away that I feel
business.
confident they can't hear us, I just say, what was that? I'm so confused.
I'd look at her and just like, I'd probably have the most blank look on my face and be like, honestly, Zinni, I have no fucking idea. I just
What
learned.
are you making a deal for?
Oh, transport. We need liquor.
Who's we?
Oh, my ba. Well, my mom's.
Your mom's car?
Yeah, because White Orchard burnt down, they were a supply of liquor, so I need more liquor.
Oh.
Yeah. And because we used to get it from White Orchard, transport was easy. It used to just come with the horses, right? Horses and carriage, buggy, cheap. But now that we need to go out to, and I'd say this as we're walking, it's like now that we need to spread out to the Sapphire Isles and to Gracia, we're going to need more reliable shipping transports. Now, I thought about the air, but the air would always be too expensive. And so I figured since it just so happened I had met this man on our travels back, why not try to capitalize? And what's more sexy to a pirate than free whores, legal money, and a constant stream of it, especially when it's running liquor? Because if a couple barrels disappear on the import, you think I'm going to care?
Fair enough.
I would look at her and be like, as we get on the dock, be like, there's one thing my mama taught me about business. It's the better to do business with someone who's happy.
You know, Chuck, you say you're not very smart, but that seems inaccurate.
I don't know nothing. I just know what my mama told me. I just keep walking.
Well, if you ever need a fake advisor, let me know.
You just need to scowl more. I'd be like this. Arr. And with that, yeah, I think it's like 1:30. We should probably cut it there.
Yeah, I was saying there.
Well, thanks to like our constant 3 viewers who watched us for
Yeah.
the last 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, that was impressive. That was honestly the longest stream we've ever done. So
No, it's not.
we done longer
Yeah,
than
it
4
is.
hours.
I'm pretty sure we've gone for 4 hours.
On live though? Anyway.
I thought so.
I don't think so. Oh, you know what? The first, no, because it was 2 parts. The first 2 shot I did was pretty long, but
Mm.
it would have been 2 2-hour